do it like that. Okay. Please, that's right, don't stop. Please. Please, that's right, don't stop. Please. Do it like that. Okay. Please, that's right, don't stop. Please.
think I finally reached that point in my life where I need a stronger word than fuck. I think I finally reached that point in my life where I need a stronger word than fuck.
The Pro League is comprised of two regular season splits. The Split 1 regular season features 4 regions made up of 30 teams, seeded into 3 groups of 10 teams each. Pro League teams will begin by competing in a triple round-robin format, where each group plays a match series against every other group 3 times. After these matches have been completed, the top 20 teams according to the regular season standings will compete in the regional finals. At the conclusion of the regional finals, 40 teams, including teams from all 6 ALGS regions, will have qualified for the Split 1 playoffs. The Pro League is comprised of 2 regular season splits. The Split 1 regular season features 4 regions made up of 30 teams, seeded into 3 groups of 10 teams each. Pro League teams will begin by competing in a triple round-robin format, where each group plays a match series against every other group 3 times. After these matches have been completed, the top 20 teams according to the regular season standings will compete in the regional finals. At the conclusion of the regional finals, 40 teams, including teams from all 6 ALGS regions, will have qualified for the Split 1 playoffs.
All right, hello. Good morning, everybody, and we are live from Manila, and we are going to watch ALGS today. Joining me is none other than Sneaky Frog.
Hello. It's pretty, I would say, early for most of the gamers here in the Philippines. Not so early for some of the other people that are down under, as Slade did tell me. It is 1 p.m. in Australia. Kind of lucky, not gonna lie, to tune in at 1 p.m.
Indeed.
Where we kind of had to wake up at 9 in the morning. But we digress. It is the Apac North ALGS Global Series. We are doing Group A versus Group B today, Lily. It is gonna be a good one.
So we have 20 teams over here, 10 from Group A and 10 from Group B. We are going to be starting by discussing some of the teams, some of the scrim results. But as we know, from what happened in Apac South Pro League just a day ago, scrim results don't really mean anything.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty much of a banger. All of the games coming in from the south side of APAC, just like I said, scrim results pretty much most of the time do not matter, but at least it's something that we can kind of drag something out of, at least build some hype off of some of the teams that we have at the moment. So yeah, I mean, judging from scrim results here, Lily, obviously, I think from the Group A and the Group B participants at the moment, I think easily Kinotrope has been doing such a great job when it comes to their scrims, especially as of recent, because they actually, I think they placed first in their recent scrim, and I think it really showed the strength of Kinotrope Gaming and how good the team actually is as a unit. So yeah, expecting some good things happening from them, especially maybe they're one of the teams to watch out for to come in maybe in first place.
Well, aside from Kinotrope Gaming, we're also looking at Nordeption, Reject, and Riddle that has also been performing pretty well from the recent scrims. But we will be heading into Stormpoint firstly. And from the internal discussions that we were having earlier, it seems that there are no cons at Stormpoint.
It's pretty peaceful.
Yeah, it's pretty peaceful. But given the new changes, maybe we'll see a different kind of play happening in the future.
Yeah.
We've seen major changes to some of the POIs. Look at what they did to my fish farms. A storm went through it, and it's just ruined now. But I was watching the scrims earlier. Rather last night. I was watching the APAC North scrims last night. And I've seen the zone end exactly at where fish farms used to be.
Yeah.
And I think we might be seeing some pretty interesting end games with these new POIs. We've also seen games happening and pulling towards where Antenna used to be, which has now been replaced with a new POI. Also, we have High Point, that is now Zeus Station. And we might be seeing more interesting rotates from the teams because I've been noticing that some teams are starting to run Valkyrie.
True. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of picks coming out that usually we don't see from the other regions. I think the biggest thing, or at least another pick that has gotten up in popularity as of recent, is also that crypto in APAC especially. I've been noticing there have been teams playing that crypto and trying to see if they can just set up the fights beforehand and get that initial information. I think in the scrims down south as well, some of the other teams are also, running that crypto to get that early information. And surprisingly, those teams are actually running said crypto were more aggressive more than anything. You would expect a team that has crypto in it to, you know, be a bit more laid back, maybe try and see if you can just gain the third party. But no, it's all different here in Apac, Lily. You know, they see an enemy, they got the EMP down. That means there's the green light to push.
I'm guessing that it's because of perfect information that's giving them that sort of confidence to push through and making them play even more aggressive than how we usually see APAC North teams playing. I think there's a common misconception that APAC North likes to play passively, likes to play zone, but I think that is completely wrong based on the fact that, based on how they're playing in the scrims, almost all of the teams have a Bangalore and they use her as a fragger or as a refrag or as an anchor depending on how they run their team comms. Aside from that, we've been seeing teams run down the lobby, just basically forcing their way into the zone by fighting as many teams as they can. Well, this is in the scrims. Obviously, Pro League is a different issue altogether.
For
It's
sure.
going to affect how the teams will actually play at the very first match of the day, at the very first day of Pro League. But you can see how the teams aren't letting the stereotypes dictate the way they play. They play how they want to, and that's exactly what I like about Pro League. It's a mix of a bunch of different playstyles. It's a mix of a bunch of different teams, players from different backgrounds. Some of them have competitive experience in other FPS, some do not. And now we might see even more action, even more glory, and even more fame. But for now, Siki, you know what time it is?
Oh, I know what time it is. It is time to start on that storm point right now because the teams are already ready and roaring to go. And man, I am so hyped because, I mean, it is ALGS, man. We're back. It's the start of the year. Last year already happened. Everyone knows that TSM won, but is there gonna be something new going into this year? And we're gonna start, of course, with the splits, but we are gonna get into the game in just a bit, of course, guys. And yeah, I mean, so far pretty standard picks out of everyone, and also what comes in with the recent patches as well. Some people kind of like to play you know, the rise prevalence, or actually the bigger prep.
Let's head that way.
Let's land here. We can cruise over here. Repeating here.
Evo shield here. Level 2.
Dibs.
And we're seeing, for example, Mazda right now, just looting, getting a 30-30, getting a Volt SMG. And I like the fact that the Volt SMG has slowly creeped its way into the meta, replacing the R99 SMG. And most of the players seem to be using it alongside the car SMG, actually.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's been quite a great time for the Volt as of recent. I mean, the patch did come in. It is slightly buffed. A lot more players do prefer that Volt, but you know what stayed here, Lily? You know what stayed this entire time? The 30-30. It's always good.
Oh,
for
that
some
is
reason.
true.
Let's go OT.
You just farm so quick with that weapon, and you can get blues so
Position
quick.
there.
But I mean, at this very moment, you can't really get any blues because there's no contest. But I
Optics
think
here.
some teams,
Hey, mates,
by the time
let's
that
go.
the circle comes in, they're gonna start to look for some poke with these weapons, and you can see there's already like, I think I've seen at least like 5 30-30s already.
Like, for example, over here, look at North Eption running a Watson Crypto in a Bangalore with Yuka Pero running the 30-30. Again, this might be actually as early as, you know, the very first match of Split 1 Pro League. The 30-30 might be the new superstar of the competitive Apex scene. we've been seeing people running it down with the 30-30 on pubs, on rank, and even in comp. And I think that just goes to show how strong this weapon is. A lot of people are saying it's broken, but I'm not sure if that's exactly is the case. Speaking of, I think we're looking at the very first fight of the day.
Yeah, North Reption. Speaking of
Two
this team,
30-30s.
two 30-30s already, plus Yukapero picked up that 3x. That means the distance of that weapon is going to be quite the threat to think about. That we do have Taida just shooting at the team that is flying in, just trying to see if they can rotate, and that they can. I don't think they're going to... yeah, I don't think they want to be involved in the fight just yet. It is a bit too early for it, but I think North Reption is going to try to see if they can get some damage, maybe try and see if Razy can get some armor, but yeah, it's not going to be a fight. I think that team is more focused on the rotation more than anything.
So shot's not connecting, but that's alright. Meanwhile, I think we are seeing a different type of fight happening over by where Fish Farms used to be, now called the Devastated Coast. And it seems to be just a standoff at the moment, Sneaky.
Yeah, not much of a fight. It's more of just the two teams kind of feeling each other out at this point. Don't want to go too far forward, but we are already seeing some teams flying in on the Devastated Coast already and trying to see if they can take the point. Especially if there is some of the teams that is running that Watson. So that means they are gonna try and see if they can set up this early. And once again, the prevalence of that crypto. But what's interesting as well here, Lily, is just like I said earlier, the Bloodhound also getting some play in these lobbies. I think it's kind of like your placement for crypto. Maybe you're a more aggressive team and want to have that ultimate in your pocket just in case you have to play that 3v3.
I think also at the moment, based on how things are playing, it seems that crypto is mostly being used as a counter to the hard Bangalore meta, where nearly every team in this lobby is running a Bangalore. Oh, look at that EMP from How. But
Yeah.
I think he's just boosting them, really. I'm not sure if that exactly is a signal for a push, or they just really want to get info on the teams that are landing, that are getting into zone.
Maybe just making presence, making sure that the other team knows that, yeah, we are definitely here. So here's an EMP, just to remind you of so. But Area 310 also getting their own spot in the zone as well already. Kind of setting up, just looking for any of the teams, trying to gain any information in and around this spot near the Devastated Coast. But yeah, I think the rest of the squads are still trying to file into the zone itself. But in terms of kills, not much in the way. I can see the top right counter here, Lily. 60 people are still alive, and it's just been damage.
Actually, yeah, not a lot of things happening. 20 squads still alive, 60 players still alive, and we're seeing more and more of them rotate into zone. This feels like a repeat of what happened in the earlier Pro League matches from the other regions, where absolutely nothing is happening. For round one closing, no cons, little to no cons. Just rotates, just looting, just making sure that they have endgame positions. This just goes to show how dedicated these players are into winning and getting a really high placement for Pro League. But speaking of, seems that we've seen something. Oh my goodness, that's a death box if I've seen one.
That is a death box already. I like how as soon as I said that there is no fights going on, someone from Satuchi Sparks already with the 30-30 just landing it rip on a player right here. So 59 players alive already, but other than that, yeah, not much in the way of action in and around our map. So we're just gonna see once again the teams trying to see if they can file in. Some crafting as well going on, and it's actually Thai Iron. First one down for his team, and it is the Bangalore as well. That means the smokes are offline.
It's going to be hard considering how flexible Bangalore is as a player, as a legend actually, for someone's team. Depending on how you use her, she's actually really good. She can provide the utils that the team needs, but wait, is that a solo Valkyrie?
Maybe just for info. Oh, they're gonna try.
Oh, are they attempting a banner play?
And there
But
they are.
Satoshi Sparks do hear the Valkyrie, do notice the descent, and now seems that the recovery is impossible! Yuta trying to run away.
Oh, he didn't take the zip as well, so he's gonna be a bit slow in terms of running away here, but I think mission accomplished. Did they even get...
No, they weren't able to recover the banner, and it seems that Tai, the first team to lose a member for this match, is forced to play as a duo.
Yeah, and also in the background, Kinotrope also losing one Tappy in the process, but Tai Infamous is already down, so it is only Kyuta left in this situation as SBI is going to try to roll up to this team as well, and this is it just went from bad to worse in that situation. Esports is actually the first one down in the background, so at least they can hope for is, you know, maybe we're not dead last in the first game of today, but SBI Esports kind of stopping this team from going for the kill here on Yuta, so he does breathe a sigh of relief for now, but he's gonna have to play that rat the entire time.
At the moment, feels like most of the teams, if not all of them, are inside the zone, while the rest are fighting over by the edge side, and I'm not really sure what's happening. It feels like half of the lobby wants to play zone, wants to get those endgame positions and everything else settled as early as now, while some of the teams, meanwhile, are still outside of the zone. Speaking of, did I just hear gunshot? Seems like there's a fight. Oh, it's some of the zone teams fighting each other. Vortex, whoa! The two draft members.
Oh, God.
Great down over there from Akuma.
Oh,
Kinotrope Gaming eliminated 18 squads remaining and 53 more players in the lobby, and after getting that KP, he goes back to the crafter, gets the shield battery, and moves on with his life.
Yep, gotta get that bat, gotta get that extra man ongoing. And I mean, of all the teams that actually went out in this situation here, Lily, that was actually Kinotrope. So maybe
We were hyping them because of the
them up.
scrim results, but very first match of the day, and we just saw that scrim results don't really dictate what will happen in the games.
maybe it's like reverse placing. Maybe the better that you do at scrim,
Tango
just,
spotted.
your placement gets lower. But that's just a fancy coincidence. But 18 squads left. Already some teams going down as the circle does get smaller.
Cruise over
You're
there.
seeing crafting still in and around our map, and still Yuta alive and alive in this on the other side of this BOI at least. So he's gonna try and see if he can rat maybe all the way into top 10, but there is still some teams looking out. Ooh, see a fly-in on the side of TechWing here, so we're gonna have to be careful because it is Northreption, but Northreption
No,
look at the health bars.
I don't think it was Northreption. I think Northreption was busy holding that ground, and they got landed on. Okay, there you go. Not really looking too good in the armor situation though, with TechWing running triple purples with Northreption still on white.
Target
Yep,
over there.
the napkin blue purple, not the best situation here for Northreption. So they're gonna have to see if they can get out of this situation. But at the same time, they can just stay here. They do have the Watson, so they do have the power of the generator plus defenses, so they can just kind of yeah, they can just kind of stay in that building and give them a time. Maybe try and see if they can get a bit of hope, maybe for Razy to get that armor up, maybe at least up to blue. But Northreption needs to see if they can get the first move in this fight. And maybe it is going to be thrown. Not going to be on the mark just yet. Rivero trying to see if he can roll on forward. Not too far. Good shots with the 30-30, and that is going to be Roosevelt down. TechWing, all of a sudden you had the advantage at the start of the fight, but now you are one player down thanks to the shots of Yucapero. But Northreption looking to see if they can go on forward here.
Wait a minute. Is that a Revenant in Pro League? Nice triple take shot from Taida, but Taida has to go back. Has to save himself. That's a bit too far into enemy territory.
Yeah, Golden Thunder gonna at least dissuade the fight from going all the way yet, but
Skynade's going off.
this is not it. That is for sure. Plus the EMP.
Oh my
the salt
goodness.
in the wound for this Seoul Bangalore. And Northreption just looking to see if they can clean up the rest of TechWing here. And that is actually crazy because I think that, yeah, just like we said, the start of that fight, TechWing had the advantage since they have purple. But I think we counted out Yucapero here but being too good with the 30-30, so
Yeah, not to mention, teammates really good on the refrag. Getting that kill, getting that turns, forcing the solo Bangalore to run away and be off position. But speaking of, seems that that solo got spotted.
yeah,
Oh,
Spotted Apac.
looking for it.
oh, trying to rat. I think once you lose both of your teammates, that's your only strategy really. Meanwhile, you get eliminated. 17 squads remaining. And oh my goodness, what was I watching? Those wingman shots were insane. Techwing eliminated. 16 squads remaining.
Yeah, Mo's, and I love that they actually gave it to Wyatt Chang because he was like 4 away from getting that red. So getting that red is actually really important for that Bangalore, especially. So now we see the kill feed start to light up a bit as the circle does get smaller, and there might be a skirmish coming in from up north here, but gonna try and see if Meteor can survive this. It seems like that is not the case. Emu already down to no armor, just the red health, and Vortex Wolf starting to roll in. Meteor eliminated, 14 squads left. They gain a bit of space, but they are still not in the zone. But the Chaoson is going to go down. Here comes Mo's going to try and see if they can get a cleanup on the high ground. Nade's going to come in. They do have the Rolling Thunder, but I don't think they're going to pop it. I think they're going to try to look for the finish.
That's a big nade sneak in, and if you're seeing what I'm seeing, they're just throwing all of their utils, but I'm not exactly sure if that's a YCD, considering 14 squads remaining, but it seems that Mo's has a revenge to fulfill. They've just been cracking this team over and over and over, and it's Vortex Wolf having such a difficult time at the moment. They have to spend so much shield batteries, so much shield cells, in order to try and make sure that they stay in the game, not eliminated this early, because when you consistently place at the lower bracket of the groups, it's not going to be easy for you as you play less, as you have less and less matches to play for the rest of Pro League.
Yep. Mo's still trying to hold this high ground against Vortex Wolf at this very moment. And Vortex Wolf somehow actually recovered from all those nades that were thrown by the side of Mo's. And what I actually thought from the side of Mo's, they actually could have just let Chico throw some of those nades or at least get that Horizon go all the way up to red. But Vortex Wolf to use those Bangalore smokes to escape this very precarious situation. Maybe try and see if they can get into the zone, but there is a crypto drone also watching their spot. But here comes the power of the Valkyrie, and they are out. But are they going to land safe? That is the question.
One way to find out is... Utah drops in front of Utah.
Big game. He even gets the kill too. Oh my god.
1k piece for the solo, but
Oh, just one. There we go.
Bro got spotted and Bro is now getting looted. Ty sadly eliminated, 13 squads remaining. 34 more players in the lobby. Lots of solos, lots of duos, but oh, North Epson, what is happening over here? They seem to be a bit off position. Even the crafter still had a spare shield battery on it.
Yeah, maybe they were disturbed mid-craft in this situation, but still the zone. Able from their side, two Jennies right next to each other actually, as Yucapero is also running that Watson, and so is the other team, but I don't know about this position or corruption. You're basically out in the open, and Yucapero, first one down for their side, and Razy might be up next. Yucapero's already lost for the late game, but Razy's trying his best to fight his way out of this situation. They do get a singular trade, but it's not going to matter. Corruption too much in the open. As soon as they try to rotate, he just got shot from his side, and Vortex Wolf still has to figure out how to get in.
Meanwhile, Mo's going in strong, still really strong. Triple red, a random caliph all over here, and they seem to be fighting Enter Force 36 with aimbot, Illy, nice push with the full SMG, but is not enough.
Oh my god, that's the Bolt in its full power, but the other SMGs are also starting to ramp up as well. Datch and Illy the first kill, but they're gonna have to pop the red doors with no armor, but the Catalyst is helping with the delay on these doors. Stars, it's gonna matter.
Getting nades spam, and seems to be Moz. From what happened earlier, they do have a really insane number of nades.
Yeah, lots of blue. boxes earlier. That though, with the swing, good kills. Their Enter Force 36 are out, but Vortex Wolf, as that duo coming in from the side, despite Kuma being down, they are still farming all these bodies at the very moment. Bose is eliminated by Vortex Wolf. And Vortex Wolf, despite being a duo, still doing a lot of damage in this lobby as we only have 6 squads left in this circle.
Is that a Kraber? But Sammy, right after picking up a Kraber, immediately goes down. Now it's Play Outside's turn to make a play. They're running triple purples. 5 squads remaining. This is your top 5. We have Play Outside. We have SBI Esports. We have Area 310. We have How. And finally, we have Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon waiting for the perfect opportunity this entire time to enter these fights, but SBI Esports is already out, and now we have the top 4 in the lobby. And still, we are seeing a lot of fences, a lot of these Watsons inside these buildings, but Crazy Raccoon, they don't have to take any of these buildings. They do have the cat wall available for that rotation, but they have to be careful on who is inside. But I think they're just going to stay here until the round 6 closing and let the other teams just kind of fight it out here.
I think based on how this zone is about to end,
Ooh, Area 310.
Exactly, Sneaky, exactly. We might be seeing an Area 310 win from this angle. They have pretty good armors. They have a Callus, they have a Bangalore, they have a Bloodhound. They have it all. Look at their weapon loadouts as well. It's perfect for an endgame encounter. Meanwhile, the other teams, though, also looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure that none of these teams who has been here since the start of the game, we've seen a lot of them going into zone really, really early on. I think most of them are running pretty good on resources, except probably Crazy Raccoon with Jusna still on the blues. They need to get a swap possibly in the end game, otherwise that blue's gonna get shredded almost immediately. We've seen most of these players running the car SMG, the ball SMG, but oh, what is this play?
I don't know about this one, Crazy Raccoon. Might not be the best idea. You might have to go down into the low ground again as Jung-hee, the last one left alive, the sole catalyst of Crazy Raccoon. The only one surviving for their team, but I would have wanted them to at least maybe use the ulti on that Bangalore to try and see if they can get them off, or at least wait for another Rolling Thunder to come in from another squad, because this team in the high ground does not have Watson. They do not have the generator as an option. So, Play Outside, they do have one chance to actually try and get them off of that high ground, and it is in the hands of Patage here.
And it seems that Play Outside also has the only conduit in the lobby, our latest added legend to Apex Legends, and we'll see if that will make any difference. Meanwhile, Jung-hee trying his best to survive. Play Outside still looting, but they are getting shot at all the way from behind.
Oh, I love that Patage is actually holding his Rolling Thunder here. He's waiting for Area 310 to go for that drop eventually, or at least try and see if they can get half of their high ground eaten by the zone and try and throw that
down.
And here comes the Rolling Thunder that I was talking about, Lily. No Watson Gen at the top of this spot, but they do have the roof on top of their head, so they can just wait that one out. And they're just looking down at all of the teams here. The eventuality of this win is incoming here for the side of Area 310. Here comes the cat ball, but that's gonna be the catalyst going down. Mitarashi is gonna be out of the picture. Play Outside, trying to do some damage as much as possible. And oh my god, it might just be turned around, and it's actually Play Outside getting the first win of the day. And this is what I was talking about, Dilly. That Rolling Thunder can make or break the position of Area 310 in that final zone. And Play Outside, exactly, that's what they need to get that done.
Congratulations to Play Outside. I wasn't expecting them to win that hard considering the positions that the teams were taking at the final ring, but they played it extremely well, took everything to their advantage, and made sure
think I finally reached that point in my life. I think I finally reached that point in my life where I need a stronger word than fuck.
Okay, and now we are back. Hello, everybody. I'm Rexy Lily, and we're going to do a short recap of what just happened in match number 1, just as we're waiting for match number 2 to start again. We started at Storm Point, and it feels like what I predicted to be a fish farm's end zone, just from, out of pure love for the POI that has since been destroyed, ended up coming true.
Definitely a lot of teams assuming that some of these buildings do have more cover than it does. Than, getting shot through a window or whatever huge hole that is in the side of the building. The outside though, with a really good first base placing, it's actually nice. It's actually nice that a team from the preseason qualifiers, more than anything, gets the first dub of the entire split. So play outside, that must feel good, especially coming in first. I mean, going into this first game, you can get so much momentum off of it. All right. Heading straight into game number 2 of the ALGS Apac North Split 1. It's already game number 2, guys. And yeah, it's been pretty spicy so far, just as expected here from Apac North. A whole lot of circle teams, that is for sure. A whole lot of teams playing within that zone, within that safety. So, yeah, we're going to see a lot of that, just like what we saw earlier, the crypto. Teams running Valk in order to get that faster rotation getting into the zone. But not all Valk ults are actually made it into the zone itself. So some of these teams really do have to be careful. But yeah, I mean, same old drops for everyone. Just like we said at the start of the broadcast, guys, there is no contests in this entire 6 maps, actually.
you're right about that, Sneaky. Not really a lot of action going on at the very early game, just like what we've seen from the very first match of the day. And is this a a Gibby, Rampart, and Valkyrie composition? I haven't seen that in a very long time, actually. And surprisingly, after the beacon bug got fixed, Valkyrie made a surprise return to comp with a lot of teams actually, even from other regions, choosing to play her and utilizing her abilities for repositioning. And it just makes a lot of things really easy for these teams, especially since how I'm not sure if passive is the right word to describe how some of the teams are playing, but they're not exactly aggressively playing either.
For sure.
But it's not too passive, so I'm not exactly sure what word to describe how the teams is playing. But I think it's more of really cautious. It's not the same as passive. I think I would like to describe their gameplay as cautious, where they're really careful about the type of information that they utilize. And aside from that, they're trying to not also pick really early fights, but it seems that an early fight is happening right now with Karen Faye getting shredded. AvB though trying his best to refrag, but can't really see the enemy. 33 shots not landing. AvB himself gets cracked, and they're going against Meteor.
Yep, good shots from the side of Meteor, and we were just talking about this team as well, the Val Gibby Rampart team, and let's see if this comp is going to be effective in this specific fight. But Reject, they're just trying to see if they can gain this rock, maybe get some cover going, shield bat up. They do have the Horizon, so they can start this fight with a single Horizon team here, but they're going to try and see if they can just even go forward. But Meteor really shooting lights out in this situation, but Roki down to 1 HP, having to pop those cells. Meteor really taking heavy damage here from the side of Reject, but Reject still not deciding to pull the trigger just yet on this team. They're just looking to see if they can just walk past him, but it's pretty hard so far.
Actually, I read about that, Sneaky. It seems that Reject is just deciding to ignore the team, trying their best to survive and just rotate into zone. I think, like what I said earlier, these teams not exactly playing passively, not exactly playing aggressively. They're just playing really cautious. And I'm not sure if this is unique to Apac North based on what we're watching right now, or maybe this is just how teams in competitive Apex in Pro League are preferring to play. Because usually, I was expecting less and less teams making it to the final rounds of the game as the zone starts closing in, but it seems to be not happening, where we've seen a lot of solos, a lot of duos trying their best to survive at the very end. And oh, I get it now. We don't have a seer meta.
True.
That might be explaining why these teams seem to be playing really cautiously, because while most of them do have a crypto, such as how, they don't exactly have that perfect information, because once you deploy your crypto drone, you're exposed to you're exposed to a lot of things, and it's not exactly easy to manage a fight without that perfect information. Meanwhile, Watagashi with the Rampage
Charged up as well, so he was doing a lot of damage to this team on the low ground that is Reject. He's really just trying to survive as much as possible. I think they're caught in the crosshairs between these two teams, but Sangjun is trying to get some poke damage in with that 3x on that 30-30, but Reject's gonna stay here for now. I think they do have a game plan staying in this specific area. Maybe they do have maybe a circle prediction in their pocket, and they're gonna see if maybe it does end here, but a whole lot of teams already surrounding the buildings at this very moment. Reject is trying to see if they can gain some scraps from the fight that did just occur earlier.
Meanwhile, it seems that we have an end zone that is pulling towards Pylon side, with most of the teams seeing the queue and moving into it, with North Epsion staying at the middle of Pylon, getting into some skirmish, I think, with Enter Force 36. Meanwhile, Kokolobby Gaming eliminated 18 squads remaining, and this is still a pretty slow start in my opinion for a Pro League game. And a G7 Scout being utilized by Illy.
Yeah, I think we're kind of just used to the pace more south of Apac more than anything here. So I think we're just not used to, you know, respectful play as we do see here in APAC North. But yeah, I mean, 18 squads left. It's just the kills mostly come from the teams rotating in, and the other teams is trying to see if, oh, they're out in the open, and we're just gonna try and see if we can poke them out. And it does work out in their favor, but yeah, it's still a whole lot of teams already within the zone, more surrounding pylon more than anything here. So yeah, there's gonna be a whole lot of hiding, a whole lot of poking, a whole lot of armor upgrades being chased here.
But seems like we're getting another southern pulling zone after match number 1. Kurihara and friends though, Fennel, staying at the side of Barometer. But I'm not exactly sure if there's a team at Barometer, with the nearest one being teams at Pylon.
Yeah. That's gonna be good for them though. They can, at least
Yeah, a
gain their
late
space little
rotate.
bit.
I agree. A late rotate might actually benefit some of these teams, given how the lobby is playing. Very zone heavy. Very, oh, I need to win this game. We need to hold this position, guys, at the very end. And it feels like a lot of the teams, such as Riddle Order, kind of struggling inside the zone. Just like what you've said, Sneaky. They've been playing this poke battle that is going to last for possibly, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Yeah, maybe just until like the circle is like closed enough, so they can go for some of these kills. But
and we look at Nordeption right now; they're not even trying to poke anymore.
Yeah, I mean they got blue, purple.
Tida has a purple. Don't really see the need to poke. It's up to Razy now and Yuka Pero to get their own purples.
Yeah, Tida just has to AFK here. You can even alt-tab and just do something else entirely. But yeah, the job of the other members here is to just try and get some of those armors up as much as possible. Hopefully maybe on towards the Riddle Order side, since they do have the conduit, so the shield can just go right back up because of those 10 shields. Meteor, oh, getting absolutely pelted here by Mose, and Meteor only one member strong, only one member left alive, and there it goes. That is the team with the Rampart already down in the dirt, thanks to Mose once again. Another kill for them outside of the white circle at this very moment. So they're finding a lot of these fights, but they already lost Ash. That means they don't have the catalyst available for this fight.
Oh, even Wyatt Chang goes down. Great bounce over there from Moses Horizon, but oh, making sure if the team's pushing, and it feels like they have enough time for a rest. Meanwhile, Satoshi Sparks not really keen on full sending that. Instead, they're prioritizing their rotate,
Check out this area.
where they would possibly meet Vortex Wolf actually. But no, actually it's the opposite. Mose possibly meeting Vortex Wolf and on the rotate. Trying to be a bit sneaky over here.
Yeah, kind of familiar territory here for Vortex Wolf, as they were the ones who actually took out Mose as well going into that last game.
I remember that. I remember that fight.
But can they do it again? Can they run it back? But to be fair, Mose, they only have like 2 players left alive, so it's already them at the disadvantage at the start of this fight. But they do have the respawn beacon that they can pop, and it is only round 2 closing, so the circle doesn't hurt too much. But Vortex Wolf still looking over the horizon just in case that they can get some accessory kills. But Satoshi Sparks already out of the question. They'd rather just fly out, go into low ground, get some position near the green circle.
And there you have it. 17 squads remaining, 51 players in the lobby. Not really a lot of action going on, and that's mostly because these teams, based on how big Storm Point is, really prioritizing their rotates if they're playing by the edge, or if they're in zone, prioritizing getting those resources and robbing the other teams out of resources. Meanwhile, Satoshi Sparks spots. Is that a solo player, possibly? No, it's a full 3-stack team. Area 310 just died a corner, trying to stay low-key. I don't know if you noticed that, Sneaky, but it feels like a lot of the teams really keen on not showing their presence. It's more of they really want to rotate in a very stealthy manner that possibly gets them an advantage, but Lemon...
Oh, someone's behind them. Oh no, Area 310.
Ooh.
This might be the doom and gloom for your team, but here comes the bolt damage, here comes the
Great
hard damage.
shots, but they got a trade.
Is it a 1-for-1? Yes, it is, I think. Area 310 out of the question. Crazy Raccoon instead coming out on top, but here comes Techwing. Techwing with the damage, and they do get the last member of Crazy Raccoon left alive. And 15 squads left. We're going to see a whole lot of this. Lily, round 3 circle. This is where most of the action, or at least one of the edge teams, does occur. And we do see Satoshi Sparks also trying to see if they can dip their toes into this fight, but Techwing's already got position.
And it feels like this fight is about to break through with Rossiful popping the Bloodhound ultimate, but playing as a refrag for the team with Revenant, actually. Anaya on the Revenant, popping ult. And I guess that is it. They're trying to sniff where the enemy team is with Satoshi Sparks finding refuge by the rock, but the rock doesn't seem to be enough at the moment. They do have a Catalyst ultimate online, but no Bang ultimate.
Pinpin gonna have to back it up here. Not gonna be the best situation if you're only on red health. But they were playing that God Rock, which is a good position up until, you know, Pinpin got hit by an absolute heater of a shot in his dome. But Techwing still in and around the area, but Satoshi Sparks, they can maybe go for some pokes, try and attract some teams to maybe see if they can corral the firepower between them and another squad. But it's hard at the moment, as we did just say that these squads would rather just prioritize the rotate rather than the fight. But we're already seeing in the background Vortex looking for something on towards Moe's, but Techwing just on top of the POI at this very moment.
Oh, meanwhile, off screen, we have Vortex Wolf eliminated by Moe's. And it just feels like these two teams are destined to be enemies.
Yeah, Moe's got their revenge after that first game, and Techwing still really good position by them going into this high ground, as we do see the teams starting to fly in. And the Force 36, they do got some boxes to play with here, but gonna have to see if they can reset really quickly. Do get the bank smoke down, but the Valkyrie doing some damage as well. So yeah, I don't think any team is gonna bother them at this very moment, but there is a team coming in from behind, Unitrope Gaming also looking to see if they can gain position within the zone. And I think this is Reject. They have been here for the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 rounds here for the past like 5 or 10 minutes at this point. They were here at the start of the game, and maybe this could be the end by them, but Reject was trying to hold, but they do have the Jenny, so they get to stay in the low ground. Kinotrope, Miak is already down. One Tappy might be right up next. They do got the scam, but Miak already down. Not the best news by them, as they are now starting to slide from the backside. One Tappy is down. Rufa might be up next. This Catalyst, no armor to be found. Trying to juke out this shot, but
how is Rufa alive?
Rufa.
That's such an alpha play from KN Alpha, and trying to not get spotted. After bullet dancing, it feels like the other team just completely don't notice him just sitting by the corner, and Reject Sangjin, Obli, and Karenpe trying to recover from that fight, trying to get, actually no, trying to fortify.
They found him.
Alpha
needs to get out immediately.
and again he's back to bullet dancing. NC, nice try. 10 squads remaining, 28 more players in the lobby.
Yeah, another finish for the side of Kinotrope outside of the top 10. Not what they're looking for, especially going into game number 2 where redemption is king. But Enter Force 36 still holding their rock here. Reject right in front of them, but the circle is about to close on their position, so they're gonna have to roll on forward here. And Reject ready and roaring to go. They got their full meds, they got their full armors, plus they have the Watson with them, but the Catwall is gonna help the rotation here. But I don't think they want to fight this yet, but Enter Force 36, their body language says otherwise. They want to fight, taking out the Watson fences, but Boars maybe looking for the wrong target here. Enter Force 36, Ili doesn't have armor immediately, and they're gonna have to file in. They're gonna have to delay as much as possible using this Catwall, but they do have the batteries with them. But the scan, they know exactly where they are. The spray, Ili trying to climb up into the high ground. Enter Force 36 got the high ground, and now they're shooting down.
Good angles over there from Enter Force 36, but Ili goes down. The first first one to go down from this fight. The Watson fences really helping Reject over there. It's a 1v1 situation. Sangjun, do you have what it takes? He has what it takes. Enter Force 36, eliminated 8 squads remaining. But the Sky Nades, they don't stop. And Riddle Order is here to ruin his day.
Oh, Riddle Order, the party crashers in that fight. Just getting that easy cleanup on Reject, who had 2 down players. So it is a really good reaction from their side to gain some space on the north side of this circle. But the circle, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. How? They do have that crypto, so they are seeing everything that is happening in the background. So they pop the EMP instead, and they're looking for their own fight. But the Jenny eats the Arc Star. Satoshi Sparks already down a member in this situation. They don't want to take this fight, but How is kind of forcing their hand here. But 5CG gonna have to back it up. No HP on that man. And wow, a fight canceled because of outside sources here of that damage. It's not even the team that... It's not even Satoshi Sparks actually fighting back too much. It's the other squads.
Meanwhile, play outside over here, playing as a duo. They do have the possibility of crafting a banner, but I'm not exactly sure if that play is possible this late into the game. Irie Kana, though, has a Kraber, and I wonder if anyone's about to get down by it. A really strong weapon, and that can definitely change the tides of a fight. But since you are playing a marksman weapon, you don't exactly have that close range fighting capability, and Irie only has a car SMG for that. Meanwhile, How discovering a bunch of people in their territory.
Oh, 5CG pops the EMP, and finally they do go down. Great timing on the Arc Star. HAO, everyone's low, but play outside. They only had 2 people to work with, but the zone is closing in, Lily. They might be forced to res out in the open. No, they are good within these 2 rocks. Northwestern is also trying to see if they can gain some space, and that they do. They are inside of the zone. They don't have to move too far forward. They still do have this heady position that they can play with, but they're also starting to poke on the right side of the circle, and How already 2 members down, and it is only that Valkyrie left alive with 3 squads left, with 8 people left alive. HAO looking like they are dead meat in the middle of everything here.
And I'm guessing this is going to be a 3v3 endgame between North Epson and Riddle Order, but Meltstera not really looking too good. Keep your head down because there's a Kraber in the lobby, but actually I think the Kraber wasn't even used. It was stuck in one of the death boxes from one of the earlier fights, but instead we do have a wingman on the lobby at the hands of North Epson Taida.
Yeah, and I think the team that only has 2 members left alive, I think they can only afford 1 res. Oh yeah, 5CG is dead. I would have wanted 5CG to at least be down and alive to provide that knockdown shield for his team, but fortunately he is out of commission. Riddle Order still holding this cannon sign of the circle, trying to see if they can get some poke with the 30-30, and they are getting some damage in, but the amount of meds the other side has, I mean, doesn't matter how much they poke them, it's about that last fight.
That is true. With the zone slowly closing in, the final round is here, and this is your top 3. We have Riddle Order, Triple Reds looking really healthy, looking really well. And we have How, unfortunately, Watagashi about to bleed out. And it's all up to right now, but the Falco is failed! 2 squads remaining. It's now or never. North Epson against Riddle Order. Saku goes down first!
Saku eats the dirt. What a spray from North Epson. And they're just gonna roll on forward. Easy peasy with the win. And North Epson, after that absolute beam on Saku on Riddle Order, just was an easy dub for their side. Despite the great position Riddle Order was holding, it wasn't enough to get that dub.
There you have it. Congratulations to North Epson for winning match number 2 of the Apac North ALGS Pro League split number 1. Okay, and now we are back live from Manila, one of the many hearts of APAC South Hub. We're back. This is the ALGS Pro League APAC North official English broadcast. It is I, Rexy Lily, and I am hosting today's events with Sneaky Frog. We'll be having a short recap at game number 2, match number 2, before we head into match number 3 with North Epson winning the game, getting 23 points from it, and 11 kills as well. How coming in second place, 15 points with 8 eliminations. Riddle Order at third, 11 points with 2 eliminations. Reject at fourth with 8 points, 5 kills, and Moze at fifth with 7 points and 5 kills.
Yeah.
What did you think about the game earlier, Sneaky?
Kind of sad about Reject only getting fourth in that situation because they had the best guess out of anyone on what circle it's actually going to end up into. And I'm really impressed on how HAO even got second in that game, despite being in between Riddle Order and North Reption in that final fight. But just tried to live as much as possible, and you somehow get second. So you do get that very nice placement points for your team. Riddle Order, though, unfortunately for them, despite holding a really good position near that cannon, that beam on towards Saku kind of just destroyed their chances, man. And the fact that he also had the conduit ability on him, absolutely crazy. 3-man beam on one person. No one stood a chance.
That is true. And now we are headed into our very last game of Storm Point. And this will be our third game of the day out of the 6 games that we will be playing for the very first match day, with Group A going against Group B. And now we are headed into the games.
Yeah, just looking at the drops at the moment. Also, Iron's POV. This man, he does not recognize Dead Zone. What is Dead Zone? That is non-existent to him. But we're just trying to see if any of the teams are going to run into each other. I think they probably know at this point that no one is actually contesting, so everyone can just safely loot and just try and see if they can, just like what happened earlier, trying to catch the teams mid-rotation and take them out early before they do get their spot. But yeah, I mean, most of the fights actually happened in and around most of the edge fights happened at round 1 closing, and then most of the other fights happened at around round 2 or 3.
And it feels like, again, peaceful times, not really a lot of things happening. But interestingly, we have a Trident steal over there from the side of Utah.
Yeah, maybe just getting that... Wait, I mean, yeah, sure. Get the Trident, deny the Trident from the other team, because I was like, they have Valk, so I don't think they actually need the Trident. But I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, you just deny another team the Trident, kind of make it an annoying game for them. But have to be careful though, because there is another team also in the area, which is Realize Washoy. And
Let's check out that area.
yeah, just this is gonna be the action, guys, for like the first 2 or 3 or so minutes in this game, because just like we said, there's no contests.
Not a lot of things happening, just peaceful times in the side of APAC North.
Yeah, just a whole lot of looting going on, and as you do see the circle kind of dragging down in towards more of the south side of the picture, going into this zone. So I would say that could be a whole lot of teams now starting the rotations incoming. Maybe the Zoo Station teams, I mean, Kintrope can start walking on down, but we are already seeing some rotations coming in. Crazy Raccoon is there. North Reption's looking for some position. Riddle Order as well. And they actually might run into North Reption if they do rotate a bit too quickly here, but I don't think they're going to opt in for a fight. Neither will North Reption, as they're just looking for position. Taida with a white armor. Don't want to pull the trigger on that just yet.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. It's everything that dictates how the games will be playing at in Apex. And it's everything that will decide who is going to win. And it feels like North Epson, unfortunately getting caught mid-rotate, might be forced to fight over here. Not looking too good considering they're just running a white armor and 2 blues.
Yeah, maybe Taito is going to try and see if he can let this G7 scout sing and maybe get that through in the process. He does not have anything in terms of the sight though, so the G7 scout is going to be a bit hard to hit. But this is the upper echelon of APAC North, so I bet even with iron sights, they are going to be deadly accurate. But yeah, just going to be a whole lot of this going on. North Reption still trying to see if they can rotate the second balloon that they popped.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't work the first time around, maybe the second time. Oh. What was that? Was that a flyby from Riddle?
Oh, they tried to fly in, but the team was already out of... Oh yeah, they're already out. Yeah, the outbound flight was already there before they even came in.
That was a close call over there. A lot of airway traffic happening with Valkyrie back in the meta. And Evac Tower is also now in the game meanwhile. As you can see in the kill feed, we have Milim taking down North Epson, Yuka, Pero. Unfortunate, our very first victim of this lobby. 59 players remaining, still 20 squads.
Yeah, I bet that Riddle Order would have really wanted this kill. That is for sure. North Reption was the team that took them out in that top 3 from that last game. That would have been at least some sweet revenge, but in the way of 310, they're going to do it for them as North Reption eliminated in the background. Kind of how do the kids say it? They fell off. They fell off from game number 2, but at least they got the dub. They can afford, kind of losing this last game of Storm Point.
After all, this is 6 games, and as explained in explainer video, and maybe we'll see the explainer video again at the break later on. These teams will be competing to get as many points as they can throughout the group stages of Pro League, with the top 20 teams based on points eventually going into the Pro League regional finals, where they will compete at match point format and get a chance to represent the region at the Split 1 ALGS playoffs.
Already excited for the playoffs, not gonna lie. A whole lot of good teams coming out of the APAC region, both in the south and the north. So it's gonna be exciting to see how their styles actually clash, because we are casting on the APAC South Hub channel. Me and Lily are kind of used to the APAC South way of things. It's gonna be interesting to see how the more cautious way of things is played against APAC S, who really does love to fight head-on in these situations. But speaking of fighting, Meteor already popping that Rolling Thunder.
Still running the Rampart, Bangalore, and Gibby composition. What I do like about this comp is they did not choose to remove the Bangalore, given
Who's that?
Did they just get landed on? Nemu, get inside your own white!
Meteor, you're gonna need to toss some thermites here to try and see if you can get some delay going, but Nemu's already inside, so I think it's gonna be good. But the EMP gonna pop some of these doors, and the drone gonna get some information on the inside, but Roki does have that minigun, can dish out a whole lot of damage, but he's actually just gonna destroy the walls on the inside in order for the other team to not use it to their advantage. But Meteor instead, actually really smart play. Now they have the walls to their side instead.
Gibby as a fragger, I just did not expect to see that on year 4, but Kuroton popping up the massive damage. Bubbles in, tries to get the peek. There you go, a crack! Another one!
Oh my god, the bubble fights, the power of the Gibby.
But Roki unfortunately goes down in the middle of the fight, and then that Arc Star is there to finish him off.
Yeah, the wall's no longer available. That Rampart already becoming a death box. And realize Washoy still in the room, and here comes the push coming in from the Gibby with the shotgun, but it doesn't work out in their favor. The L-Star doing absolutely everything for this squad, and Meteor is eliminated, and realize Washoy stave off a push from the side of Meteor, and once again, the squad with that Soul Rampart not really placing that high. Unfortunate, because, the lineup is pretty unique, but speaking of unique lineup, we got Techwing here.
Oh, that's Kindertrope. Again, eliminated pretty early into the game. 15 squads remaining. Techwing, though, running that Revenant. Revenant players, you have representation in the ALGS Pro League, but Ibo not really looking too good at the moment. But Anaya and Rosaful looking really healthy. I think they're not really playing by the enemy's line of sight. Rostafel is already way too far away from the rest of his team, but it doesn't seem to bother him that much.
Yeah, they're just trying to hold high ground. I mean, the amount of escape options you have as that Revenant as well. Just makes it easier for you to hunt some of these kills more aggressively, but you know, just gotta be careful, just in case you get 3-man beam from across the map, and that is not what you want if you are a map rev. You do want to be available for these fights as much as possible, but we are already seeing some of the teams setting up to the plate. You know, Crazy Raccoon's already here, 310's already here, everyone's already gotten their respective buildings. And with the amount of catalysts in this lobby, these buildings are not going to be easy to enter.
Yeah, you're right about that, Sneaky. Meanwhile, Ty, Yuta goes down, but the Jenny is popped just right in time. But I think this is just delaying that inevitable, Sneaky.
Yeah, team on the high ground, team on the low ground, 2 squads staring at you. And Yuta already down in this situation. The generator has been destroyed. Here comes the black hole as well. Everything is being thrown in the way of Ty and Iron. The last one left alive, not burning to that thermite, but I think they know exactly where he is.
He's just trying to pray it out. Maybe they'll forget about me. Maybe they'll get pushed. Maybe they'll get punished. But again, this is a region that likes to play extremely cautious. And there you go. Ty eliminated, 14 squads remaining.
Yeah, and unfortunate here for Ty. I mean, if they got the generator maybe a bit earlier, that could have been at least a spot that they can play with. But at the same time, 2 squads are staring at you.
Yeah, and unfortunately too, their Valkyrie was the first to go down. But even if they had their Valkyrie alive, even if Yuta was still alive for that fight, I'm not sure if a Valkyrie is able to hold that space and defend it properly and defend it well. Meanwhile, Kokolobby Gaming over here trying to be a bit sneaky.
Yeah, no doors to actually block off anything for the Catalyst, so it is only going to be the spikes delaying that team from dropping, but no one's going to drop this yet. The circle is still pretty large going into round 2 closing, and not much teams outside of the zone at this very moment except for O2, who is still trying to look, maybe gain some position, rotating all the way from Jurassic still, but yeah, they're still going to try
There's nobody at that side of the map, but of course player doesn't know that. Just making sure that there's nobody in their backside. We might be seeing a late entry here from O2 Esports, which I think might actually help them, considering just how fast some of these teams are rotating to the point that it's actually griefing their games.
Yeah, not going to be good news for them, that is for sure. But O2 Esports, they're taking their sweet time, not going too far forward. I like how they're using the Bloodhound to slowly scan the area, making sure that it is safe for them to rotate inside. But the zone's already shown itself, and it is in the middle of Riddle Order. So Riddle Order, technically they do have the best position at this very moment, but yeah, I think this circle's not going to be good for any of the teams on the other side of the mountain, that is for sure.
And now it's all but just a waiting game. 13 squads remaining, and it's still round 3. Quite unexpectedly, more and more teams have been playing more aggressive.
I think it's
a bit
I think it's the
unexpected.
circle, honestly. I mean,
Might be the circle, or it might also be the more psychological aspects of competitive play where, you know, some of these teams, it's their first time in Pro League.
yeah.
And they're just a bit nervous, want to play a bit more careful, and then they realize, oh, this is just like scrims. And they play a bit more aggressively. Meanwhile, Newcastle spotted. We know exactly who that Newcastle is.
Exactly. Newcastle's already setting up at the top of the plate, and it is, of course, Realize Washoy. Already getting some cover at the top of the mountain, and they also have the rampart in their pocket, so they have so much cover at the top of this hill, plus they can play this God Rock. But Moe's looking to see if they can disrupt the peaceful setup here from the side of Realize Washoy, and that's the first one down. Rampart already out of the question. There is still 2 left, but Moe's just waiting out this Rolling Thunder.
Seems like Mo didn't even show their presence, actually. Very dishonorable play, because they're using all of the advantages that they can. And you know what I like about Moe's? They really utilize their grenades extremely well. Realize eliminated 12 squads remaining.
Yeah, you know what the CEO said, you need a gun, nades, and armor. That is all that you need, and those nades really are put to good use. But Vortex Wolf also getting themselves into a situation. 30-30 gonna hit some shots, but the Catwall is gonna block the entirety of his vision here, so not going to be too much of a fight. I think they're just going to try to recover as much as possible here, but the circle is going to start to close, and some of these teams are going to be very uncomfortable.
Good 30-30 shots over there from the side of Vortex Wolf Sammy, but will it be enough to turn the tides of this game? Most though losing their horizon, but so far so good. They're still playing as if they're not a duo.
Yeah, I mean, Mo's losing Chico so early in this game is not what you want, especially for the last game of Stormpoint. Lots of teams playing catch-up here. Satoshi Sparks, charge rifle here on Pinpin. Already on that purple. Maybe he should swap with the Bloodhound, actually. Maybe he's going to try to get that armor to purple as well. But still, round 4 closing is very, very soon. And I think that's where most of the action is going to happen here, Lily, as teams are now starting to file around that mountains, trying to find some of this space within this zone. Maybe some rocks in the background, but we already see... Oh, Shink getting Wyatt Chang in the background. Mose is now starting to get shot at.
And it seems like this is Satoshi Sparks' cue to go in, but immediately after taking a really good position for fragging, they slowly go back to their earlier position. Maybe they realize that the risk is possibly not worth it. I mean, after all, 12 squads remaining, still a lot of players in this lobby.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely shot from the backside, so they can't really overcommit to this play to try and finish off the rest of the squad. So they're going to have to decide, are we going to go for the rotate or are we going to fight Vortex Wolf? That is a decision that you have to make if you are that team still outside of the zone. But speaking of the zone, Kokolobi Gaming still right inside of it. They can just walk on in, but they have to be aware of the presence of Riddle Order, who's kind of keeping this entire spot, even the pills outside, onto themselves. Falco's already being popped from the side of HAO. Rotations are going to start to file in, but there's not much space in this circle, Lily.
I wonder where they can possibly land. Maybe by a defense line, maybe by a small rock, a small unconvincing rock, but oh no, they dropped right straight into a conduit ultimate. Right, not really having the best day ever.
Oh, 5CG. Watagashi's already fallen over. HAO in an instant from a Valcult into 3 death boxes. Not the best equation for the other team, but Riddle Order, who's been here at the start of the game, starting to poke on the members, rotating in that 30-30, doing so much damage, but it's going to be delayed by just a bit, of course, but he knows exactly where this team is near this cover. But look at Meltzera melting absolutely everyone with this 30-30. He's just in the backside of this rocket. Look at the positioning from Riddle Order. They're just so spread out, but still covering each other's bases here.
That conduit ult has zoned that space for so long. It's actually insane. Yukio though with the Peacekeeper. Still at the blue though. Just need one shot, possibly a bit more. Gave up on the Peacekeeper. Now using the flatline. Yukio still on blues, but thankfully they wipe Vortex Wolf. 6 squads remaining. 16 more players in the lobby.
Yeah, but there is still those low ground teams that you have to worry about. Satoshi Sparks, who actually prevented the rotation from Vortex Wolf earlier, now is the one suffering in the middle of the zone. They couldn't find any good spot in this situation, but at least it is going to be one more member right back up for the Sparks at this very moment. But losing Pinpin so early, Catalyst out of the question. That means you don't have the wall. You're going to have to just rotate out in the open.
Meanwhile, Kokolobi Gaming eliminated. This is your top 5. We have Riddle Order. You have Satoshi Sparks. You have Crazy Raccoon. You have Play Outside. And not last but not least, Area 310. Mitarashi though with the entry cat wall, trying to zone out and cut the playing field into 2.
Oh, and there's already a team right behind them, so the catwall is actually perfect. Or is it? Or is it actually perfect? Riddle with a clue of what is happening in towards their backside. Meltzera with some very nice shots on that vault. He also has the bow check in his pocket just in case, but he is getting pushed. But the amount of damage he's already done, everyone is absolutely wounded inside of this VOI, but Crazy Raccoon is also having their own troubles within their spot and is stunned from that Bangalore ultimate, but they do have a really good head glitch here. They can just play this entire situation to themselves, but the nades are going to start to come in. Justna, nice damage from the car. G7 Scout in his pocket. Really nice spray from Justna. Millen's going to go down. Area 310, you're going to lose a member. And oh no, it's only Lemon left in the corner. Only a
stay
knockdown
low-key.
shield blocking him and Crazy Raccoon.
Trying to stay low-key in the corner, but oh, Crazy Raccoon discovers them, area treats and eliminated. And now, top 3.
Oh, not the best swap there from Justna. On towards that blue. Satoshi Spark still in the background trying to play for second here. Exactly how HAO played in that last game as well. But Crazy Raccoon, it's going to be them and Riddle Order for that first place spot. It's whoever acts first, whoever gets that first damage in. Crazy Raccoon wanting to pile on in, catching someone in the corner, but good movement from the side of Riddle Order, not letting any of the members getting caught out very early in this situation. But yeah, everyone is still looking to prepare for this fight, but no one wants to pull the trigger just yet. They don't want to go first.
They want to play it really cautiously. It feels like we're back to the tempo of the early games of our, so far, what we've observed, the APAC North Pro League games, where everyone's just really careful, despite having a lot of bloodhounds in the lobby, a lot of cryptos, and even the return of the perfect entry fragger, the Valkyrie. Most of these teams don't seem to be keen on just pushing everybody. Instead, they're waiting for teams to make mistakes, waiting for their enemies to make a misplay, and trying to use that towards their advantage.
Yeah, Satoshi Sparks already got a good position in this low ground. They got their height covered, so that means they can just stay here, and they can force Crazy Raccoon and Riddle Order to start the fight. And here comes the fight start. The three-man swing on towards Saku, a victim of the three-man beam once again. And Riddle Order already down a member. They need to get one back, so desperately instead, they're just going to play for a second and take out the team. Satoshi Sparks just trying to survive as much as possible, and they get taken out. Second place at least guaranteed for Riddle Order as Crazy Raccoon. They have the hold of the high ground. The cat wall is down, but does it even matter? Here comes the black hole. Here comes the thermite. Here comes the kill. Melzera coming in from behind, but just not trying to fight back. Jung-hee low HP. Both low HP on the members of Crazy Raccoon. They do get the swap. Jung-hee back on red, but oh, not the commit just yet.
That zipline is just killing everybody. And look at that. Crazy Raccoon, the champion of our very last game of Storm Point.
We have our Apex champions.
There we go. We are back with the Apex Legends Global Series Split 1 Apac North. Official English broadcast brought to you by ASH, of course. My name's Seekrog. With me is Rexu Lily. We do have the scoreboard right in front of us. And Crazy Raccoon, Loki been going crazy in that last game. Not gonna lie, it was a 50-50 hit there, Lily. It could have been Riddle Order. It could have been Crazy Raccoon winning that one.
That's true. But at the end of the day, Crazy Raccoon is leading. But things might change actually as we switch our map to World's Edge, the ALGS Classic. It's so El Clasico that some pros are even asking for it to be removed. But we'll see if that'll happen, because for now, we'll be playing it for the rest of Pro League. 3 more games for today. 3 in World's Edge.
Yep, World's Edge, everyone's favorite And yeah, everyone does love this map. And just like Stormpoint, there is no contests in this game. As I think the closest thing that we have to contests is, I mean, Fragment East with Enterforce 36 and someone at Monument with his Northeption. So that's going to be interesting whether or not they do run into each other. And there's also a whole lot of teams towards the south side of the map, especially near the dome. There's actually 3 squads, and there's 1 squad that actually occupies launch site and dome at the same time, which is going to be Fennel. And I'm actually hoping for some of the teams that didn't do too well here in Stormpoint to do better here in World's Edge. I mean, Genotrope is a prime example. I don't want to be flaming too much on the stream, but they finished outside of the top 10 every game in Stormpoint, which is not the best start for one of the best teams here.
That is true. But, well, different maps, different playstyles. I think some of the teams might still run the same comps, though, after all. Most of these comps are pretty flexible, especially with Bangalore, that you can really just use her anywhere and everywhere you need her to. But for some of these teams, they might be making changes. I think defensive legends are possibly a bit less viable for World's Edge.
Ooh, Anaya being loyal. Anaya's like,
Anaya
yeah, I'm
is
running.
loyal to the Revenant. Hear that, Revenant fans? You have representation. But, you know, curious enough, I was expecting the Revenant to be paired possibly with a Conduit, but that doesn't seem to be happening, Sneaky.
Yeah, that would have been a very deadly combination, actually, especially if your Revenant just feels like extra psycho today. They just push in to every single fight they could possibly be in. And yeah, those temp shields can really be the make or break. It could make or break some of these fights, especially for Anaya here. But yeah, a whole lot of looting going on, guys, at the start of the game. As per usual, you know, there's no contest, so everyone is just calmly pressing E on any of the items on the ground. So yeah, just like I said, just looking for some of the teams to just rotate into each other. And yeah, as we do see the south side occupied by quite a lot of players actually. So I would say there could be a fight going on, maybe in Geyser, maybe in Big Mod. Fragment is also, you know, a pretty spicy place at the very moment with 2 teams kind of occupying it. And yeah, but so far pretty respectful from all of the teams here, Lily.
Indeed, Sneaky. Not a lot of things happening, but I guess this is the tempo of the games that we will be watching for the next few days of Pro League, or at least the tempo of the games that will be happening between Group A and B. Not a lot of aggression. At the same time, a lot of caution. You've seen the teams using stealth as a strategy, actually.
Yeah. I've tried to remember the term that shout out to Tom9 in the chat, by the way, but teaching some of the Japanese terms to me. I think he told me that there's a certain term for it when you're sneaking in. Let me just look for it here real quick.
Because it doesn't seem to be
Kokusen. Kokusen. He's either messing with me or that is the term for it.
But that doesn't seem to be in the repository of the strategies available to the rest of the region. That doesn't seem to be a strat at all.
Yeah, it's more of a rat.
Most people just call it ratting, but ratting is more on relying on survivability and ambush as opposed to stealth. Because with stealth, you need to, you know, keep moving.
Yep.
You need to catch the enemy team off guard.
Yep.
And I don't think stealth and ratting is the same thing.
To be fair, I think like the players here in Apac North do a really good job of ratting, that's for sure. I mean, prime example was HAO earlier, who actually got second placing despite being sandwiched in between 2 teams here. Almost actually from the side of Satoshi Sparks. If Riddle Order and Crazy Raccoon actually fully committed to that 3v3, I think they could have maybe gotten the win and or possibly guaranteed second place, just like how HAO did, but unfortunately, Saku got triple swung and they were the target instead.
Meanwhile,
So,
are you seeing what I'm saying? Is that a Wraith in lobby? Lemon running! Fan favorite Wraith. Not really that popular in comp after losing her spot to most of the newer entry fraggers, but pretty nice to see her back in comp.
Yeah. Possibly one of the main reasons why. Hey guys, I got the heirloom. I gotta play Raid today.
Yeah,
I just got
the
this fresh
kunai,
heirloom.
it's just extremely memorable. One of the more popular, if not the most popular.
Yes, sir. The speedy spin.
Yeah, one of the most popular character in Apex Legends. There you go, Raid with the passive. as well as with the hitbox advantage. Getting thrown to Bangalore smoke.
Bang to the face. Doesn't really do anything, but you know, someone's gonna try to geyser on out of this situation and maybe try and go deeper into dome. So judging from how the teams are actually rotating in, so yeah, it could be dome stacks type of circle going on at this very moment. So yeah, none of the teams already rotating in E36. Gotta watch out for your dome here, my friend. There is a team right on top of you, so just gonna play it careful. But they do have the Watson. They can just set up in this building, no problem.
Oh, but there seems to be more and more people pulling into stacks at the moment. You've seen and heard teams just vaulting or evac flying into stacks at the moment. How though? Still at the... They're kind of out in the open actually. Not looking too good for them at the moment after Right just gets shot at. Watson fences though, trying to protect their position, but I'm not sure if the fences are going to hold anytime.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they want to stay here, honestly.
It's kind of way too out in the open. They do have a crypto though, so they will definitely have a lot of information to use. Meanwhile, Mo's, again, one of the teams that we've been watching, just throwing nades out of nowhere. And I'm guessing they're using the same strat with Wyatt Chang having 3 frag grenades.
Yep. I think Chico is going to be playing a lot more careful now on that horizon, considering he's been always the first one down for his team, but to be fair, that's his role. But yeah, he's been going down a bit too quickly that his teammates cannot keep up with his pace. So needs to be, you know, maybe a bit more in tune with his team at this very moment. But Little Order getting that second placing in that last game is going to try and see if they can get the dub this time. Already getting a position within this dome. I'm trying to guess where the circle is going. I don't think it's going dome here, Lily.
Nope, definitely not. We can see half of the POI already outside of the inner circle. I think it's leaning more towards the stack sides, or probably it'll pull towards the backside of Lava Siphon, actually. Meanwhile, Fennel, Kurihara, and Momon with 2 purples, looking pretty good on the loot situation. Good scan over there from the side of Momon, but Pinota still on white.
Oh.
They're Bangalore. But I think most of these teams in APAC North are actually using their Bangalore as a refrag or perhaps an anchor, and instead using their Catalyst as a fragger.
Yeah.
With the controller players running on the Catalyst, kind of crazy to see. You know, Anaya, our loyal Revenant player.
1 HP. Does he have his ult though? Yes, he does.
He does have his ult.
He can pop it, but it's going to be a bit of trouble. Oh, I don't think he does.
I don't think he needs it though. It's only one last guy.
Yeah, look at Anaya. Anaya's already hunting for that last kill, jumping in. Eva 8
Oh, there you go. Anaya, here's the shield battery being popped to you. Ready to fight. But can he really salvage this? He is on blue. He does have a 30-30 and a Havoc rifle.
Oh my god. Oh, hold your breath to you.
Oh, good beams.
The Havoc rifle, it does shred. Oh, say hello to my little friend. And there we go. Tech Wing getting O2 Esports out of Big Mod. And now they own the area. Vortex Wolf also in very close proximity, but they don't want to really kind of poke the bear this early, especially in Big Mod. But 19 squads still left. A whole lot of teams still outside of zone trying to gain some information. The amount of crypto drones actually flying in this circle, I can see there's like at least 4. So everyone's really trying to see if they can gain some good information here.
So much perfect information, but I wonder if that is enough, because right now we see Tech Wing again trying to take good positions because there's another enemy team going into their territory, and it's Vortex Wolf.
Yeah. And I think Alchason actually yoinked the golden helmet from the death box, and now is just, yeah, alright, I already got what I wanted, guys, so might as well just pull on out of this fight. And especially the golden helmet is so important for this Catalyst. You just have your abilities up, plus that wall is going to be up earlier for your team. So Vortex Wolf gonna have a really good time, at least in their spot for now. But Techwing is gonna look for possibly a push going in towards the left side. They do have a Revenant ultimate, so they can maybe force a fight here, but they don't have the conduit. That's the problem.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Crazy Raccoon, what is this? I think this is exactly what we were talking about earlier, Sneaky. The strategy known to all of Apex player kind. Ratting, Jungi, ready with the pylons, Jisna, and Dogma on the blues. Also by the ledge side. They are very prepared for a quote-unquote fight.
Yeah, and Kinotrope runs into that building as well. That is another outside of the top 10 placing for them, which is what they don't want. So they're just going to stay here for now. Make sure you don't investigate too much because curiosity kills the cat. But yeah, everyone's just holding their respective buildings once again, guys. It is only round 2 closing. Pretty peaceful times for Apac and at the moment, with the exception of the right side of the circle. And this is what we said. TechWing has to fight this team. And that they do roll forward. TechWing 2 down already. Even the Revenant is out of the question. And really good shot from the side of Vortex Wolf. And oh my word, they only lose Sammy in the process. He's going to get right back up. But here comes the third party coming in from Meteor. Looking to upgrade their armors. Looking to upgrade their loot. But they're already getting shredded. From the backside, Nemu is down. Wow. Really good defense from the side. Or not really a defense. They're just getting shot from the side instead. Kuma, the only one left alive for his squad, getting shot by the Satoshi Sparks. But he's going to live for now. But Satoshi Sparks, at least they gained position and cleared their backside. But Vortex Wolf, they're still here. But it's only one. It's only Kuma, though.
Kuma trying to stay lurky. Maybe the enemy team won't spot him. Maybe he can pretend that he's dead. And indeed, it worked!
Ooh. Wait, he can get the finish. Maybe he can. Slide, Volt. Oh, he could not get that final damage, and finally he does. Roki going down, possibly the finish incoming.
It's a thirst for thirst. That is happening. But oh, not thirsted yet. The knockdown shield working towards their favor.
Oh my god, you got a giddy. I don't think the knockdown shield is going to be enough to block that man, but Kurotan still, bubble is going to go out. He can go for a bubble res here, maybe to try and bait this final player to go outside the res.
Mind games. Mind games is happening right now, Sneaky. Good angle, but the shield, the bubble, is it enough? It's enough! Kurotan, great finish on Vortex Wolf, 17 squads remaining. And the nearby team still quite a bit far, not really looking to push. I don't think they have really good information on what is happening with that fight. All I know that there's a team there and they were fighting and somebody got eliminated and that is it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Satoshi Sparks did not opt in to scan left here to try and see if they can maybe get something in terms of the KP, in terms of the points, but I don't think they want to get involved in that situation as Tai gets eliminated in the background. 16 squads left, still a whole lot of fighting incoming, but still, a whole lot of teams just holding their position. It is a stacked circle, so everyone has their spot. Really does depend if you're just holding the right building here.
Indeed, Sneaky. Now we have a look over at the map view, but seems like there's chaos happening over here at the side of Crazy Raccoon.
Oh, Crazy Raccoon. Miak's already gone. Kinotrope once again. And oh no, Alpha, the last one left alive. Once again, Kinotrope facing another outside of the top 10 finish. And this is not what they want. Crazy Raccoon already losing Dogma, but there is a respawn beacon right in front of them. However, there is a team rolling up the hill as well, so they have to look on their behind just in case. But here comes Crazy Raccoon. They finally spot the team right behind them, and it's only actually going to be Alpha. But since it's too noisy from the backside of this tunnel, here comes the peak. 310, just really the area of denial that they're doing with this Watson is really doing wonders in Area 310. They got the armor swap, they got the entirety of the tunnel, and they have one more team to fight for. And because of their position, they might even be able to gatekeep Crazy Raccoon because they're either forced to go right here out in the open or into the tunnel.
That's a pretty good play from Crazy Raccoon, taking advantage of that very few seconds of chaos in order to get Dogma back into the game. That was pretty fast, actually. They were just chasing a Solo. Solo was trying to recover. Solo gets killed. One squad eliminated. And then suddenly they have their teammate back.
Yeah, I think Area 310 was aware of that situation as well, since they were actually shooting at the team. But I think they couldn't. They had their hands tied behind their back. They have to focus on this rotate going outside of this tunnel. So they really don't want to get too involved in these fights in Area 310. They're starting to scout out what spot can they play here on the outside.
I think that's one of the downsides of having to play one of the more aggressive. I think that's one of the downsides of having to play one of the more information-heavy team comps is that, sure, you have all of these information, but because of that, because you have extra information, decision-making is going to take longer. And that is why I think Crazy Raccoon was able to think, that fast ahead. They were ahead of the game. While we saw some teams really hesitating on the decision-making, not really so sure about what they want to happen.
Yeah, and Enter Force 36 having to play carefully here. Kokolobi at the bottom side of their building, and there is also 2 squads right outside. So they don't want to at least get this fight started outside. They want to keep it in the building itself. But you can see Crazy Raccoon in the general vicinity as well, looking to maybe bait one of these teams into fighting. But it's not happening just yet. Area 310 finally out of the tunnel, but not out of danger just yet. There is still teams holding onto that high ground at this very moment.
What is this? I think coexistence is the name of the game at the moment. So many teams are just coexisting with some of them finishing each other. What is happening? Are we seeing the return of streamer building? Except it's a building in stacks now.
Oh, Meteor's eliminated. Play outside, looking to play inside this time. Very nice shots here from Tanpopo on that Prowler, and they finally do get the down. And oh my word, the kills are flying all over the place. The res is not
Stacking
gonna
the
happen.
ring damage. Watage. Nice medkit. The zipline is really helping these teams just coexist and maybe survive a wee bit longer. They're using ring damage to their advantage. Northeption is out. SBI Esports is out. 8 squads remaining.
Oh my god, the teams are falling like flies in this circle. HAO is also eliminated. Play outside, fresh from that last fight, looking for Enter Force 36 in this building. But Enter Force 36 doing such a great job of just staying inside. Don't want to get too involved in any of these fights. But at the moment, Play outside, they do have control of the situation. But still, they have to worry about high ground just in case. But Enter Force 36, they have other plans. They're just going to swing instead. Can they get the kills in time? They do get some damage. Illy already on 1 HP. Oh, gets some damage in with the R9, but eventually goes down. Conduit is going to get finished off. Enter Force 36, Illy is already down, but it is actually a bait all this time. They just want them to be stuck in the building, but instead, Enter Force 36 goes down first and then Play outside. Oh, Play outside actually gets 6th in that situation. Area 310 still on the high ground. Still, Lemon already popping that portal to get into this God Rock. Area 310 trying to punish the teams going for the rotate. Defenses, Mitarashi trying to cover as much area as possible, but still pretty open position from their side. Kokolobi, though, there's only 2 people left alive, so this is going to be an easy clear for Area 310. They can just play this one safe.
Oh, Lemon with the rate. Now in the top 5, top 4 actually. Kokolobi Gaming eliminated 4 squads remaining. We have Reject, we have Riddle Order, and we have, of course, Fennel. But Fennel way out of the fight now. Riddle Order losing 1. Meltera with the wall bounce. Is it enough?
Oh, barely survives. Does get that accessory.
Leeching off some other teams. Watson Jenny.
The generator. It's going right back up. But it is only a napkin though, so that means it's not going to be that much in the way of preventing that damage from killing this man. But Fennel safely inside of this cart. They don't want to go outside just yet. Area 310 though, it's looking like them who actually controls the entire situation of this final circle. So they're going to try and see if they can reduce some of the numbers here. And that's the right choice to do so. If you fight the team on the inside and you successfully do it, that is basically your zone to play.
After all, we still have 2 teams that are of a full tree, a duo, and of course, we have our solo. Now, I think it's really more in the team comps and where they currently are at. At the moment, I do believe that Reject has possibly the best possible position. Is they just need to fight Fennel. And I think that they're working on that at the moment. Meanwhile, Area 310 quite out in the open, but they do have a lot of space to themselves.
Yeah, and Reject has the option to swing on late in this circle. They do have a bit of space to work with here in the dome, so they're going to have to hope that team within the cart fights first before them. And Meltsera just trying to look at the ground, trying to not get spotted. Just hiding this entire time. Area 310, they are aware of the presence of Fennel inside of that car, and they do want to collect that KP. And that they do. They finally go outside. Here comes the damage. Lemon with some good shots on the Nemesis as Kurihara goes down. But still, there's a team inside that dome, so they cannot go right. Fennel has no choice but to play that knockdown shield. Area 310 trying to get that finish.
Meltsera still alive. Top 4. Anything can happen. And Reject is here with the late entry.
This is exactly what we expected from the side of Reject. The late swing, they still have space in the dome, and a bit of circle damage doesn't matter. They have full HP on everything. AvB on 1 HP though. Gonna have to pop that bat. They have the high ground. Fennel is eliminated, but are they aware of the low ground players? Reject with the late swing from the dome, with the patience from this team. And that's pretty much it. They get the dub in the first World's Edge of the split.
We have our Apex champions.
There we go. Hello, and welcome back to the Apex Legends Global Series Split 1 Apac North. And yeah, we just concluded our first game of World's Edge. It was chaos, to say the least. That is for sure. Lots of teams waiting, lots of teams hiding, lots of teams fighting as well at the same time. But I think that just goes with the POI, or rather the circle that is stacked. A lot of buildings, so lots of options for these teams to kind of hide, especially some of these teams are running that Watson. But yeah, we are now in our 5th game of today's games. So yeah, been gonna be an interesting one. Maybe we're gonna see some teams looking for some redemption here. And yeah, hopefully we do see some really good games. But you know, despite the scoreboard, you know, suggesting that some of these teams are kind of at the bottom of the barrel, I think I've seen some really good moments from the teams outside of the top 10. To be specific, with Vortex Wolf, they've been fighting really well. Yep, there we go. I think we do have the lobby ready and roaring to go. 5th game of World's Edge as of today. By the way, this is the Group A versus Group B matchup that we do have. And yeah, these teams are just trying to collect as much points as possible to at least kind of bolster their lead going into the leaderboards. And here we go, World's Edge. Same old, and just like the past 4 games, no contest, so the action will start once the circle does start closing and the teams do start rotating.
Not a lot of things happening for now. We are pretty used to the tempo of these games. Interestingly, we've seen more aggression, more action at World's Edge, and because of that aggression, a lot of teams were eliminated early on. We only saw like 4 teams at the final rank, Sneaky, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of them were not a complete trio, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, a whole lot of duos. I think Fennel, despite having a really good position in that final zone, the reality is there's only 2 people on their team, so it is pretty hard. It's pretty easy for the teams who still have complete numbers to kind of grief them. That's why you did see Area 310 is kind of holding their spot, the entrance to the cart. So as soon as they went outside of it, the gun started singing. That is for sure. But that entire time, there was someone waiting at the other side of the wall, and that was Reject. And they were hoping for that fight to happen.
And interestingly enough, we finally get a northern pulling zone. We haven't seen that in Stormpoint, and finally we're seeing it for the first time in World's Edge. I feel like this is going to sway towards possibly Meteor's favor. We might be seeing a survey camp end zone, seeing as the tunnels are included in the circle. But, you know, I'm not really the best circle predictor in the world. Pretty sure a lot of these teams are better circle predictors than I am.
Ultimate accelerant here.
Maybe we can get some predictions here in chat on where the circle will be pulling towards. But for now, we enjoy some looting and some rotating. Speaking of rotating, we already have North Eption already moving quite fast.
Yeah, North Eption looking for that early position.
I mean, they're running a Watson, Crypto, and a Bangalore. Not really the kind of comp you'd want to run if you're out in the open.
Yeah, you'd rather just stay in a single spot where the fences are at, and especially with Crypto, you know, gonna have to drone in and around. But at least, you know, North Eption, they're gonna have plenty of information going into this game. But yeah, they're just gonna keep it careful, you know, just like what we've been saying. They have been playing this one cautious, and they also do have the survey beacon, so they're just gonna scan for that circle. And it is going to end up in survey camp. Oh, I guess we're kind of on the dot on that one.
And now Meteor, though, not really looking too good for an underside.
Yeah.
Gibby, Watson, and a Bangalore. Seems that most of these teams really are keen on sticking with Banga. Still hard meta despite the nerfs. Doesn't seem to be really impacting how the pros and how the competitive players see her.
Yeah.
A really strong legend.
It has been, I mean, the popularity of Bangalore, cannot be denied. Which, the one of the main reasons why was to remove aim assist in the first place. Which, in a region like Apac, where MNK is actually more dominant more than anything, you still see some players, go for that roller, and especially in this game as well. I think there is some players from the side of Thai running that roller, so that Bangalore value is still there. However, what's more important about that Bangalore is the space that she can gain with those smokes, and Kokolobi looking to play that God Rock early.
But they do need to play this really carefully after all. Look at Jakusha. Still on white. Yo 66 on blues. Meanwhile, Realize was Shoei, the first team to be eliminated in the lobby. Eliminated off screen. 19 squads remaining.
Dang. Unlucky, honestly, from Realize Washoy. Running into the Satoshi Sparks, if I am not mistaken, so not the best way to start things off here in World's Edge. Kokolobi using that valve to gain some position, possibly here in Kaima.
Also, look at the scans going off. One of the benefits of going into a skyward dive.
Yeah, getting that free information. Getting those free targets, but Techwing, do see Anaya, the sole revenant of this lobby, is going to try and gain some position here. Maybe they're going to try and sandwich this team in the middle, or at least not allow them to play this one safe. But they're not going to opt in just yet. Anaya did pop the ultimate, though, so I think they're planning on fighting this team in the middle.
A lot of things have yet to happen. We've seen some teams coexisting as early as now, despite the map. Still a lot of playable space, still a lot of things that can happen. But I feel like the edge might be where the action is actually going on as we pan over to Overlook.
Oh, O2 Esports already popping that Bloodhound ultimate. Bangalore is also available. Those smokes are not going to matter to this Bloodhound. He can see right through them, but is it going to result in anything? As Reject is just trying to roll on forward. Trying to get that building that is closer to zone, but I don't think that team is fully committing to taking that spot just yet. But O2 Esports are kind of mirroring what this team is doing, so they're going to roll up right behind them. Great shots from Kotaman, but can he get the finish?
No refrag incoming, unfortunate. But Reject, though, very wounded. Karen Pedo manages to recover. Sangjun as well. Looking pretty good so far for Reject. They still have the HP advantage. Kotaman's initial beam not really doing anything by now. The tempo has been missed. The timing is over. And feels like we're back on a standoff. Reject against O2 Esports.
Kotaman's in a really good spot, though. So if anyone swings out from their side, it is going to be pretty bad news. But instead, Kotaman does get the beam, but does not get all the bullets in. Is going to have to reload that vault, but can he get damage? Yes, he does. Kotaman does get Sangjun, but can he get the rest of this Reject squad? O2 Esports losing this fight very quickly. Tsuyu first, not going to get the kill, and Reject, despite losing Sangjun very early on in this fight, the rest of the squad doing a good job with just cleaning it up.
And now we are back into the usual tempo of APAC North. 18 squads left, 53 more players in the lobby, and we have a northern pulling zone.
Yeah, zone still pretty far. Bit of coexistence going on here in Epicenter.
You can definitely hear the footsteps right now. Ultra Sun, though, has a purple. Sami trying his best to farm with the charge rifle, but not really too successful in that endeavor.
Not a lot of options, honestly.
Yeah, they're playing at a low ground in the valleys of Epicenter. Not really. No good angles. At the same time, you're pretty safe down there. Unless Enter Force 36 decides to drop down, maybe full send the team from below.
Yeah,
I mean from height, but
if anyone steps too far forward, that's an arc star to the face immediately. I can already see it.
Alright, for now, same old usual tempo and a northern pulling zone. I feel like this is going to be a game that'll possibly end at the middle of survey camp, in between survey camp and or climatizer, actually. We might be looking into that, getting more information in the next few seconds as the teams, same as us, wanting to get that end zone, wanting to be at that final fight. But we will see about that. Meanwhile, enter Force 36, as you heard from earlier, respawning their fallen Wraith. Did Lemon was Lemon beam from the sky?
Yep, not much of a problem. Only takes like an armor's amount of damage, but
Ooh, not looking too good over here
waiting
for
that
Lemon.
phase.
Thankfully though, Lemon playing a Wraith has Q ready. Lots of rotates happening.
Yep. Oh, Sammy finally getting to farm with the charge rifle a bit, so that Evo is gonna go from 200 to 110. So that's a bit of progress, but still, it's just a lot of crypto action going on. Lots of people looking over the hills, looking to try and see if they can gain anything, but not much in the way of fighting. Just a lot of poking.
Indeed, you're right about that, Sneaky. Meanwhile, play outside. Irie, unfortunately, getting credit. Oh my goodness. A stray bullet almost hit Irie. That is now flesh. No shield left. And sadly, play outside has to spend a bit of resources trying to heal. They're pretty out in the open. They do have a conduit, though. That will definitely help with their survivability.
Let's check out this area.
But yeah, overall, pretty peaceful game so far.
Yeah, it's going to be more about that round 3 closing, actually, since we still do have 18 squads left. This big of a circle, so
So much space. Not really a lot of things happening.
yeah. I like that the team, or actually it was Moze, who were playing the God Rock earlier, actually got off of it. You don't want to play that God Rock early, especially that your entire backside is so vulnerable. So they're just going to opt out of it, at least up until that round 4 circle comes. I think Moses wants to hold this one as much as possible, but Meteor is in the area though. Oh, but Northreption, once again, or Northeption rather, in the general area of Crazy Raccoon, looking to see if they can gain revenge after that game 2 of Stormpoint. But
Area treat 10 now starting on with their rotates. Lemon phasing in to ensure and guarantee his safety. After all, he's still running Whites this late into the game. I wouldn't say this is early game anymore, where you're still pretty safe with Whites. After all, the teams are still looting with their attachments and everything.
is this the spot? Is this the spot? I'm not sure about this one, but I think they got their hands tied behind their back, forced to play that position. So they're just going to be playing hide and seek for now, at least on the teams that are right behind them. But if Tide does decide to look over that hill and they see just a pixel of any character behind that box, they are going to light that box up, that is for sure. But Meteor with a bit of a late rotate, they know that Mose is in the general area, so they're going to have to use this balloon to try and see if they can just fly around them, but the damage from the circle is already pretty heavy here.
But I think that Roki still has possibly enough time. So does Nemu and Kuroton. But kind of risky maneuver. Because the moment that they drop into a team, and the team does end up shooting them, they don't have a lot of health to bargain for their safety. Not really a lot of leverage. And they choose to drop onto Climatizer. Whereas we saw from a few minutes ago that there's a team named Techwing with a Revenant ready to kill, ready to swing.
Yeah, and I like that Rossifel is kind of holding the scan. He'd rather just let Anaya get some information here and eventually get that one. But good shots with the Wingman, 38. But still.
Oh, Jenny has been deployed. That Arcstar is not gonna do anything.
Oh, the shots from the Wingman, from the right side, from the head glitch. Anaya, he can just queue on out as well. So that Rolling Thunder is not really going to affect anything in this fight. So Kuroton forcing to pop that ultimate. So did the Gibby. So 2 ultimates down already for them. But still, look at Anaya from the side. Good shots from the Wingman. He does get Nemu down. There is still 2 members left alive, but still the cover is not there for the side of Meteor. Nemu is out. and Anaya looking for the rest of the squad, but TechWing more worried about the circle more than anything as Riddle Order is now starting to pull up into Climatizer.
Now there's more and more teams pulling into Climatizer at the moment. Quite a lot of things. Finally, some action. We are at round 4 already. Still 18 squads in the lobby. Riddle Order running the Watson, Banga, and Conduit. They will be looking pretty healthy for a fight. Almost always getting that HP advantage, but speaking of HP advantage, Anaya, get out of there! You're 1 HP. Fennel eliminated off screen, 17 squads remaining. Anaya still strong and alive, and now they're going against Riddle Order.
Oh, Conduit ult has been popped, so Riddle Order, they do have that position initially, and they're gonna go high ground here. They are gonna look for at least some damage before they go fully into the fight, before they fully commit. But Riddle does have a really great spot in this position. They just stay here the entire time. The circle kind of friendly for them, honestly. They can just slide on down if there isn't a team in the low ground, but still not showing too much of their presence here. They don't want people to spot the top side of this, but they just want to finish off this last team.
But speaking of positions, Sneaky, they are outside of the zone and we are already seeing it close. More and more teams getting into aggressive fights, into dangerous fights because they now have to fight for space. And unlike TechWing, Riddle Order is not inside the ring.
Yeah, and if TechWing times this correctly, they're gonna spot the Riddle Order playing right next to them, possibly on the low ground to give them the advantage, but they're just playing the walls. They're not showing themselves just yet. They're waiting for Ibuo to have that right timing on that Rolling Thunder, and that he does. Riddle Order, that's going to ruin your plans. Maybe by just a bit, but Anaya from the side already getting a down incoming. 1 tappy on 1 HP. Kinatrope having their own trouble, and they're going to get taken down by SBI from the backside, and Kinatrope out in 16th. That's going to be brutal for them, and SBI also having to deal with another squad incoming in their general area. And here comes Vortex Wolf from above, but the triple take doing absolute damage here in the background. Riddle Order is eliminated. Northception is out. We got our top 10. Vortex Wolf from the high ground.
The kill feed is on fire, everybody. TechWing eliminated 9 squads left. So many teams just died in very different areas of World's Edge. And now we have SBI trying to stay low-key after seeing what happened to the kill feed that went on fire. It burned and they realized, oh, the lobby's kind of hot. We need to play it safer. Meanwhile, Area 310 gets will send it on. Armor swap from Milim, really nice, but is it enough?
Oh, Milim.
Another armor swap. Lemon, it's all up to you now.
Oh!
It's not enough. Lay outside. The duo Watage and Irie kinda survive. 7 squads remaining. Meanwhile, Enter Force 36 down with the solo. It's all up to Ali.
Yep. And the Conduit kind of saving the skins of that last fight for the side of Play Outside.
Look at that. Almost all of the teams are just looting. So many fights happened all at once. We weren't even to get any observations on what had happened. Meanwhile, Vortex will finally spot this team, SBI Esports, and they are getting zoned out from rotating. Round 5 is closing, and Meteor is also in front of them.
Oh.
Good nade from Kuriton.
Good thermite, good nade, but they can't go in just yet.
Meanwhile, Enter Force 36, Play Outside eliminated. This is your top 5. We have Meteor. We have SBI Esports getting into their own skirmish against Vortex Wolf. Kuma goes down. Sami beaming people on the sky. Running the Valkyrie. The sky belongs to him.
Yeah, Vortex Wolf has been holding this God Rock for a while now, so they're going to be sad that they're going to lose it. Kuma already down. Sami down as well. And I think this Catalyst might be right up next as Vortex Wolf finally goes down. 3 squads left, 8 people left alive, and they know that there's a team still within this train. But they do have the generator, but Kuriton, good spray, does get the kill on Sangjun, but Karanpi does get one back, but they do have the Watson, so they can just get the quick res. The fence is doing so much delay, but Obli trying to peek in, but the fence is doing so much work, but good shot from Rogi. Oh no!
Oh no, the fence! It grieved him! And now, your top top 2, Meteor going against the full squad of Kokolobi Gaming.
Kokolobi trying to get some cleanup incoming, but could it be another 2v3 situation for the side of Meteor? Nope, it's not gonna happen. Kokolobi gets the win, but what a play for that second place.
So much chaos, the kill feed catching fire. It's just insane. This is match number 5 and your champions, Kokolobi Gaming.
And hello and welcome back to the Apex Legends Global Series Split 1 for the Apac North. My name is Sneaky Frog. With me is Rexu Lily. We just had 5 games of the Group A versus B matches so far. Lots of expected results, lots of unexpected results as well. Lots of teams that are, despite being outside of the top 10, performing really well. It's just that the other teams, they got the better timing going into these circles. But Lily, man, I mean, it's pretty tough for some of the teams here because some of them are actually playing well. But I'm talking about Kinotrope here, man. 5 points and 1 kill this entire time. It's not been a good time for them, that is for sure.
Indeed, Sneaky, you're right about that. Some of the teams not really having a very fun day one. Meanwhile, some are completely popping off. We have Reject, Riddle Order, and Crazy Raccoon in the top 5. Oh, and of course, North Eption, Kokolobi Gaming as well. Kokolobi Gaming winning the last match. As we head into the final match of the day, we might be seeing a bit more changes, maybe some in the bottom 10, possibly getting that one juicer game to push them into the top 10 and hopefully save their chances of risking it all for the next few match days, because as you know, we have a bunch of match days. The more time you spend trying to figure it out, the less chances you have at qualifying for the playoffs, and possibly you might end up even in the bottom 10 of Pro League. You won't make it to the regional final, so it's very important to stay consistent in the way that you play. And now we are heading into match number 6, our final game of World's Edge and our final game of match day number 1.
Let's see, we might even get a northeast pool this time, just to, have a bit of difference within the lobby itself. But all in all, really does depend on the team. Pretty impressive performances for some of the preseason qualifier teams, especially Meteor here, who's done a really good job of just kind of staying within the top 10, but also, has been qualifying for these top 5s a lot for these past few games.
Oh, that is true indeed. A lot of these teams really popping off despite not having a lot of Pro League experience, which just goes to show how dynamic a game like Apex Legends is and how fast to adjustment you need to be in order to keep up. And I don't even think it's because of the meta or the nerf changes. I think it's really more in the decision making that is pushing some of these teams to the edge of their performance limits, causing them to play not really good, to be so inconsistent so suddenly.
Yeah, maybe it's the day one nerf. It's always
Yeah, it's always the day one nerves, the
Gotta shake it
psychological aspects of competitive gaming, but that's exactly what makes cheering on these players even more rewarding, because you're supporting teams that are really up there, really into the game, practicing, scrimming almost every day. That's a lot of work, that's a lot of hours, VOD reviewing, watching their own games, and even figuring out how do the circles are reading. Meanwhile, let's do some circle readings ourselves. It seems that we have a southern pulling zone with the entirety of Lava Siphon pulling towards it. We also have...
Oh, it's a tree.
It's a tree zone. I haven't seen that in quite a while, actually. Not even in scrims.
I think I've seen it like twice. And usually the team that is holding that back choke is... doing the most damage to anyone in this lobby. But yeah, we are now seeing some rotations finally filing in. Some of them don't really have to move too much. Fennel, actually, this is going to be good for them because they don't really have to move from their spot too hard. But they got to guess right on where the circle is going to end up. So yeah, hopefully they do get that one going. But Riddle, who has been really trying to get that first dub of the day, is... still within the means of the top 5. They've been consistently top 5, honestly, for all of these games, but still have yet to find that elusive win.
You're right about that, Sneaky. Truly, consistency is key. And speaking of placements and everything else that has been happening, we have Crazy Raccoon pulling towards tree, the first of many teams to do so.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick this card. They do have that Watson, so that's going to be a viable choice for them, but still, they're going to look over some of these hills. Maybe Dogma does want to switch with his teammates since he's the one who actually has 30-30. But Yeah, no, Crazy Raccoon maybe going for something else here. Maybe going for the something deeper within the zone, but nah, they're just gonna stay here for now at least.
Feels like a lot of the teams have already figured it out. After all, most of them were running a Watson. Meanwhile, a different kind of fight is happening over by the edge side.
Oh, there's even someone ballooning from the backside so they can enter the building. It's actually Play Outside who's getting pushed in, and there is someone on the second floor, or rather the third floor, as Play Outside's playing the second near the plants, but Play Outside is trying to delay with these Arc Stars. The temp shields are there from the conduit, but still, look at Play Outside really just trying to dodge this team as much as possible, maybe to just try and get their meds inside of them. But O2 Esports, they're gonna opt out of the fight. They're just gonna say no. We'd rather just stick it to the zone.
And seems that that's it for this fight. Not a lot of things happening at the moment. It really seems to me, it really appears to me that APAC North teams don't really like fighting by the edge. It feels like the only thing that is zone edge teams is the fact that their distance towards the center of the zone. Meanwhile, what is happening over here with Play Outside? Trying to rotate into Mod, possibly.
You're only as good as your gear. And
Yeah, but I think they assume that Mod is gonna be clear, since the team that's already looted it probably is out already. Is gonna try to look for a spot somewhere else. It's pretty easy to
Meanwhile,
loot.
there's action happening over here at Landslide. And I guess we're a bit too late to it. No action's happening. Rotates.
Just rotate. A lot of people running, a lot of smokes being shot. Satoshi Sparks overlooking the landslide here, which was once, you know, home to like at least 4 squads, but those squads are already out looking for a better position within the zone. But they have to be careful within the tunnel, though. That is a very, very ratable spot, but I don't think anyone is going to do exactly that just yet.
Yeah, it seems to be the reoccurring pattern on what has been happening on the day so far is you try to pick a fight, it doesn't give you a snowball or a crazy advantage, and then you just rotate out of it. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Very careful, very cautious, very safe. Not really a lot of risking involved. But at the same time, that's why the mid games get so chaotic because there's so many teams alive. And I'm not sure how the decision making is going inside these pro players' minds. Maybe they're trying to run a decision making system of some sort because with so many things happening, the chaos, the kill feed is on fire. I'm not sure how exactly you can manage that.
Yeah, for sure. And like the amount of teams also occupying tree at the moment is getting higher and higher. As I think the position that Keenostrope is actually holding near the choke, I think that's a fine position to hold, especially I think by the time that the last circle comes around, they have a bit to walk into. But yeah, most of the teams just gonna be seeing them flying on in. But oh, first blood already, and it comes in the way of Tai, with Watage already down because of that nemesis. But Meteor, oh, also getting shot.
Kuruton saved by that Gibby bubble.
But they're fighting under the bridge.
Gibby all being deployed.
Yeah, they had to get out of that spot. I think if they stayed on the bridge, the Gibby ult would have not mattered at all.
That is true. And now a Bangalore ult has been popped. Rolling Thunder here, adding to the chaos of what's happening at the outskirts of Tree.
Yeah, it's a fight for survival here for Meteor as Kokolobi is actually looking over this bridge, and I think they realize that there's still teams coming in from Harvester, but there's also a team on the other side of the bridge. Kokolobi with the first blood already for their side. But they're gonna have to back it up. The drone is still in the air for this crypto as Meteor witnessing this entire fight from the low ground, but
Good recovery over there from the side of Meteor with Kuruton back into action, looking pretty healthy. Now he can win his 30-30, but turns out these teams also playing as careful as them, not really showing presence. And it's almost as if there's really nothing happening at Tree right now, but that can't be any more farther from the truth because look at that, Enter Force 36 now joining the action with Aimbot. The only team member still relatively healthy, trying to chase the drone, ignores it instead because What's time for a drone when you're getting shot at?
Yeah, and Enter Force 36, fresh from that last fight, still having to recover a bit.
Oh, the Jenny eating one of the catalyst spikes, but not to worry. I think they do have a lot of time, but how? The drone, it's just there to scare people, I guess. Mind games everywhere.
Yeah, I think they're trying to look to set up a fight here. EMP is in a really good spot, or at least the drone is in a really good spot, so that could destroy the gen in an instant. And there it is, the EMP. However, the gen wasn't broken. Hold up, Enter Force 36. You have an opportunity here to possibly win the fight. How messed up heavy, and I don't think they're gonna go for it. I think they realize they messed up.
Yep, that's one crypto EMP out from the utility side of that team, and the Jenny is still well and alive.
Wait, I think it was destroyed. I think he still has the ult.
Possibly. At this point in time, some of the teams are already pouring into the tree side. A lot of things are possible.
Yeah, and he's like, thank God, my drone got destroyed, because that ultimate was less than ideal. That is for sure. But still, Circle drawing in towards our south side here, and ooh, smack dab in the middle, in front of Tree and at the back of Harvester. So it's gonna be a field zone.
Meanwhile, we have a bunch of teams just scouting it out. Some even choosing a very far rotate towards the side of Harvester.
A lot of teams on this bridge, honestly. E36, you have to be careful. There's like, I'm trying to count the squads. There's like 4 squads right in your area.
There's just very little damage opportunities available here for E36, given from the spot that they're playing at and the resources that they have. They still have quite a lot, actually. Enough for endgame, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But playing from under the bridge, not really the best.
The fact that aimbot still has white armor is not gonna be good news as soon as this round 3 circle finally closes and they're gonna be forced to fight in these situations.
But thankfully, they do have a lot of resources on their side. Not really still quite okay with the economy game.
Yeah, aimbot needs to start to work on those car players though, because you know that's some free damage you can get from the triple take, especially 5 CGs peeking around the corner. You can get a 362, you know, maybe just to get that armor right back up. But obviously it's not gonna happen. They'd rather just hide in the corner, not show presence at all, let the information go to you instead. But if you do have a crypto just like HAO, you can see the entirety of the action at this very moment.
Still 20 squads remaining. What Tagashi doing? Supreme surveillance work. Nobody really shooting down that drone. You can see the Watson fences. You can see where the teams are camping, where the teams are lurking. 20 squads left still. No squad eliminated so far.
Wraith
and it's
portal?
victory. But oh, is that a Wraith? I see.
Oh, Wraith portal gets into the portal just in time, but oh, someone else is in there. Bangalore
Goes back in just right in time. Watagashi back with the drone play.
Oh.
Trying to scout where is that team? Is that a Wraith? But as we know, there's only one Wraith in the lobby, and it's with Area 310's team.
Yeah, and I think they could just stay here the entire time. Honestly, that was a really good play from the side of HAO to take position of what was supposed to be E36's, but unfortunately is now occupied by a whole another team. But Circle is still pretty large. Teams are still respecting each other. But we're waiting for that one break point that we are looking for in this game. Wow, but look at this, man. Circle is getting smaller, but still teams opting in to play within cover. But Fennel, first one down for the entire lobby. I'm actually pretty sad about that. Fennel had zone in this game. I mean, they landed in landing site, so they should have had south, but fortunately it didn't happen. I think another team kind of rolled up to their plate, and they're like, all right, this is our spot now. But yeah, I mean, Meteor kind of in position, but this is where it ends. Does it?
I think it might end by the bridge side, if not by the mountain side. There's a lot of zones that do close here by the mountain, But as you can see, 19 squads remaining in the kill feed is slowly catching fire. I can see the spark of Apac North SBI Esports eliminated, and I can hear a lot of gunshots going on, specifically over here at the side of Lava Siphon. There's just way too much action. Infamous going down. It's all up to Yuta now. Yuta no longer in the Valkyrie, now on the horizon, zoning him out with the gravity lift. Grenade has been thrown and attempting to rest the Bangalore, who is iron, but Moze, they're fighting against Moze.
Yeah, Mo is still 3 strong in this fight, so they get to swing on in because their numbers are superior. 128 almost on the flesh, but do they know that someone is right behind them? Good shots from Wyatt Chang to get down Iron, and Yuta, the last one left alive, has a decision to make. Is it time to abandon the banners? I think it might just be, but Mo's having to fight a whole nother team here, and I think Reject starting to poke through these windows, but I don't think they're gonna let go of that high ground.
Quite a lot of things is happening at the side of Lava Siphon. The circle isn't even pulling towards there. It feels like the teams are just trying to gatekeep each other at this point, Sneaky.
Yeah, no one's letting anyone pass, not at least for free. You gotta pay the toll.
Speaking of toll, though, wonder what Vortex Wolf is up to at the moment. In their silly corner, given that the ring is pretty dense at the moment, with 17 squads still alive, still playing, and it's almost round 4 closing.
Yeah, it's up to that ult, but still, I mean, the team on top of you has Watson, so you really don't know if the generator is there or not. So someone from Vortex Wolf might have to peek around the corner just to try and see where the generator is.
And look at that, we have a Valkyrie ultimate from the side of Crazy Raccoon as they head further into zone with...
What spot though? What spot? I don't know about this one.
I don't know about this one. It feels like this feels like the second time that a team has attempted to land there. I think the first one being realized, was it? Earlier into the game. Mo's meanwhile eliminated, 15 squads remaining, just trying to scout it out. And Kokolobi Gaming, the winners of match number 5, possibly they might have a repeat win. They looking like a back-to-back win angle. Nice crack over there, yo! 66 with a 30-30.
Oh, yo, and that's Rossiful going down to 30-30, doing so much damage, and it's not just 1, but 2 30-30s on this team, maybe even 3. So the absolute damage they can do from distance is insane from the side of Kokolobi. But the names are now starting to drop in this lobby. Play Outside is out, Eruption is out.
A lot of teams are getting eliminated. The kill feed is catching a spark way larger than it can handle. Tech Wing also eliminated. North Epson is also gone. 10 squads remaining. Half the lobby is back to the lobby, and there's no more games to play for today.
Yeah, that's your last semblance of redemption gone if you are that team that was out of the picture in this situation. But Goku Lobby, I like what they're holding in this high ground, but I think Crazy Raccoon, they could possibly look for a win in this exact same position. As long as that team on top doesn't drop on them early, I think they're going to be safe.
Yeah, so for Crazy Raccoon, if they did this position way earlier into the game when there's less people, less teams inside this vicinity of 3, I don't think they would be doing as well as they are now, because they're out in the open. They only have these rocks. They can get dropped on, they can get shot at from so many different angles, but so far nobody's looking at them, which is actually saving them at the moment. Look at Zhang Yi with the Nemesis actually getting some damage in. 118 left away from a red armor.
He's trying to grief some of the teams rotating from the low ground here. I think that's just to stave off the teams from their spot, but here comes Reject. Oh, the instant tap strafe out. He sees the rampart walls in the corner. AvB, no armor on him instantly. AvB already down. Sangjun gonna have to carry the fights here as that Bangalore with the Digi threat. Oh, but this is gonna be a whole lot of trouble for Reject, but the damage is absolutely massive from Sangjun.
Sangjun just playing with them mind games, speaking from so many different angles. His tempo is unmatched at the moment now. Running out of ammo, going into the 30-30, trying to melee them. He could reload, but no, he doesn't have time. AvB trying to crawl into the zone, hoping not to die, and there you have it. We have a rest. Vortex Wolf eliminated, 8 squads remaining.
Yeah, and not much work with here for the rest of the teams.
Ooh.
Kokolobi goes down.
There goes the back-to-back win angle. 7-6 squads remaining. Crazy Raccoon is also out.
Oh, I think the end game is incoming here, Lily. I think the end game is incoming.
But a lot of teams in very different positions. Now Reject is occupying the lower side of the bridge. Meteor still in their comfy truck. Kurutan now has a red armor. As you can see, they dropped here really early into the game with Kurutan almost dying. Meanwhile, Milim, Solo, Bangalore getting shot out in the open. Run to the horizon. The horizon doesn't even notice.
Ooh, and here it comes. Area 310 still trying to get some disruption going, but the low ground is still being owned by one team. But Satoshi Sparks are looking to see if they can take advantage of this bridge, and that they do. Riddle Order is eliminated because of it. And Satoshi Sparks looking for the positive that they can gain from today's games.
Reject looking good at the moment. Meteor still in their trusty truck over there. Satoshi Sparks taking advantage of their height. And how coming in from the T side, not looking too good. They don't have a lot of space. They don't also have a lot of cover. They do have a Bangalore though, but hopefully the smokes are enough. Maybe the Jenny can save them. Maybe they still have a chance. Right, trying his best to stay alive. Manages to place a Jenny for Team How. Watagashi though, their crypto is down. And now they just need to play this fight as a duo, but pretty dangerous. If you ask me, Sneaky, when you lose your team member, when you're stuck as a duo this late into the game, final round closing 5 CG, tanking a bit of ring damage, and now of the ultimates, everything's exploding. How eliminated now? Reject is going against Satoshi Sparks and Meteor. There's no height, there's no low ground. It's all an even playing field.
Oh.
Nemu is the first to go down. Kurutan with the beams on the R99 takes down Obli, and now attempting for the Surge wasn't successful. Roki, the only one left alive. It's not enough. Satoshi Sparks wins match number 6.
There we go. Satoshi Sparks taking advantage of that high ground, taking advantage of that bridge position, and got that very easy win, and that is pretty much it. The last win goes to them.
There you have it, folks. That's it for match day number 1, 6 games. And that's your final game of World's Edge. I think it's pretty interesting just how some of those last games panned out, Sneaky. I wasn't expecting some of the better performing teams in the scrims and in the recent LAN playoffs to not really be that successful.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do have some teams that we kind of expected to pop out of top 5 here. I mean, you do have Crazy Raccoon, you know, collecting 51 points, very close to Riddle Order here, and Satoshi Sparks, I think, is, you know, pretty one of the better performers in this game. I think I saw Satoshi Sparks, despite some of the situations that they didn't play well, especially going into that late game, they still got into top 6, they still got into top 5, and they kind of got rewarded in this game, going into the very last one as well, getting 2nd place. But I think the team that is happiest about today, Lily, is Reject. 97 points.
On fire. Like, after getting signed, these are one of the most recent teams getting signed, actually. And we will talk about that more next week on match day number 2. But for now, Reject, one of the latest teams to get signed, popping off really hard. 97 points. That's insane.
Yep, and that's going to really give them a big boost going into this group stage. And some of the other teams still having to play catch-up here. I mean, the teams that we expected to place in the top 5 that are outside really served as a big surprise. I mean, you expected Northeption to be higher in this list. You expect Enter Force 36 to be higher in this list. And especially Kinotrope, you expected them to even go past 20 points. But still, I mean, I think the other teams were just less nervous, maybe more hungry to gain today's points.
But I can't wait to see the hunger in Apac North Spire. Maybe we'll see that in the next group stage. that we will be hosting in the next week. Back-to-back match days, actually. Kind of insane. Some of these teams will be playing 12 games in one day. So we'll see how the teams and how the games will pan out. Maybe we will see more Northern zones.
Hopefully.
I mean, we only got one for the 6 matches that was played today. But interestingly, I love seeing the off-meta picks. We had the Revenant from the side of Anaya. We had the Wraith from the side of Milim. We also saw a lot of Valkyries, which weren't really being practiced recently.
For sure. A whole lot of ramparts as well. So a lot of teams trying to build their own respective fortresses, but unfortunately, some of these fortresses got broken in an instant. But, you know, pretty
It'll take
interesting
time
stuff.
for them to adjust, definitely. And after that, I'm hoping some of the teams will pop off, maybe betray the expectations set by the fans, set by us even, the observers of these games, as we are just simply watching the show, and it's all up to the players to decide who will be the champion.
For sure, for sure. So this is really a really great preview of what's to come here in Split 1 for the ALGS APAC North series. And man, this year is going to be really... So this year is going to offer some really good Apex, that is for sure. So yeah, looking forward to day 2 already.
And speaking of day 2, I guess this is it.
Yep.
We'll see you guys again next week for the official English broadcast of the ALGS Pro League Split 1 APAC North region. Again, it is I, Rexy Lily, and joining me for today is none other than Sneaky Fred.